What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, a podcast hosted by two gamers for you, the true gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the guy who's never played a fight simulator game, but is somehow the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
Are flight simulators all inverted?
Well, they must be if they're real flight simulators, right? I mean, there might be an option, but could you imagine that's the one time that you get ridiculed for going normal? It's hold on a second, you're playing a flight simulator game and you're not inverted? Just get out of here, get out of here. But how are you doing, bro?
I'm good because, like I said, I'm inverted like a fighter pilot, and we support the fine, brave men and women in the RAF and whatever the American one's called.
I guess I have to say...
Yeah, you do.
I can't
exactly.
not say it.
Forced your hand. Yeah, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing good because we have other people other than you to talk to today.
Do you know what? I was like, don't lead in heavy with that. Don't be like, finally, I get to speak to a person whose opinion I care about.
Normally, that is your take on things, but you didn't do it, so I got in there this time. Yes, today, guys, we are joined by none other than the hosts of the #1 Assassin's Creed podcast out there on the internet, the Eagles Call podcast, Joe and Walshie. How's it going, guys?
The #1 and the only. You got to keep that
It's
in
not
mind.
your fault there's no competition.
Exactly, exactly. It's not your fault there's no competition.
Take the gold, yeah.
It's like those people, they're like, what can I get a Guinness World Record in? What hasn't there been? I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for that right there. That's basically what they've done. Yeah, but Joe and Walshie, how are you guys doing?
I'm
not
excited.
Too bad.
I mean, aside from the constant existential depression of making Assassin's Creed videos.
I'm quite excited. You know, 3 hours of AC India talk. That should be fun.
Yeah.
God damn it! God damn it! Don't start with that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. You promised me that was the thing you said.
This is what the people want. This is the only reason you would have me on for AC India speculation. There is no other reason.
I was actually I wanted Joe on. That's what I wanted. I didn't actually want him on.
That does make more sense.
Yeah, you're the entry fee. Yeah.
But I love how angry Joe gets when you rub him up the wrong way. So I was like, I thought that'd be a nice little dynamic there. But so that's the reason why you're on. The guys over here, they're joining us for a special episode to talk about everything other than AC.
That's right.
Except when I asked for comments in the Discord, everyone replied with AC. But we're going to be talking about some gaming. These guys are good mates, and they have their own podcast over there. Do you want to pimp a little bit of the stuff that you guys are doing before we get going? Do you tell them who you are, what you do, and your penis size and stuff like that?
I feel like we should pimp our stuff.
Absolutely. Well,
we'll do it after. We'll be nice. We'll seem like genuine nice people.
We'll do it post. So where can people find more from you?
Yeah.
Like we said, the only Assassin's Creed podcast on Earth, where we've not spoken about Assassin's Creed for about 4 weeks now. So.
That's good.
I'm a listener of your podcast. You can't fool me. You can't come here and spit lies to us like this. I listen to your podcast.
That's not a brag, Eddie. That's not a brag.
I was thinking the only Assassin's Creed podcast, and they've moved away from Assassin's Creed. They're doing better than AC.
That's it, exactly. That's what AC should be doing,
right?
But go on, tell the guys exactly where they can find you and what you guys do. Go on, genuinely.
Okay, got it.
Alright, well, we talk about Assassin's Creed and some other things, but mainly Assassin's Creed. On the Eagles Cult, fucking hell. For 5 minutes in, Jesus Christ. The Eagles Cult podcast.
We've been doing it for a year. And you don't even know the name yet.
The Eagles Cult podcast on the FoundedScarab YouTube channel. Can I cash out now? Is that my bit?
Yeah, the better YouTube channel of the two.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, our subscriber count would disagree on that, Joe.
Oh, wow. That was some shade right there.
I'm just going to say, it's not about quantity, it's all about the quality.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly it. And Joe's got much more of that.
Also, I have to say,
I'm sorry that you guys are breaking up. Like, this is the actual podcast that's going to break you two up. We're going to do this live on our show. But we'll get all the views. It'll be titled "The Podcast That Broke Up Joe and Walshie."
I mean, what I was hoping was that you would take him, and then I could, go off on my own and just,
fuck it, I'm free.
I thought you were going to take ships. I thought we were going to swap.
Can we swap? Can we
this
do
isn't
that?
like a swinger party. This is supposed to be a podcast.
COVID rules and stuff like that. We just can't do it in person.
Exactly.
So we're going to do it over the internet. There you go.
Yeah, no,
But
I
that-
go today.
But yeah, you guys do it over on the Founded Scarab channel, I should say. Right there,
The
which
Founded
links-
Scarab podcast. Fuck
I
me,
mean,
yeah.
it's essentially what you should call it. I don't like the
agree.
Walshie thing is just not an
The
interesting.
branding's
aspect
way
right
better
there.
that way.
That's the only
you
reason
guys-
people watch, to be fair.
Exactly. After he's shown the goods on Twitter, that's the reason why people tune in.
There you
right?
go.
I wish
you
he
guys
didn't
can
do
find all of their links in the description and whatnot. Go and subscribe there. Go and check out their stuff. It's actually really cool. As I said before, I'm a genuine fan of your stuff and whatnot. I always listen. Purely, you guys have the chemistry that I feel like me and Sheps have, but because I'm not in it, I get to watch from the outside and just be like, these motherfuckers. God, there you go. So I really enjoy your stuff, and everyone else should go check them out as well.
Oh, cheers.
Appreciate it, man.
Seeing as we got you guys out of the way,
Yes.
maybe we should talk a little bit about us.
That's right. This, of course, is the True Gamer podcast.
That's right.
All of our podcasts, actually, are made possible by the fine and incredible people over on patreon.com/Conversations. Who do we have to thank?
We have Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Carol Tarivia, aka Catspa the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Dan the Man, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, Martin Scorsese's Master HBarts12, the Midget Alo from Smallville Sabine, the former freeloader Christian, Master Chief himself Albiscory, Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Star Wars Encyclopedia Adam Sunling, the Gamer of Gaming Shire Dave Bindis, and the Assassino Ezio Al Felipe. Thank you, bro, so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going here at Comroplations.
That's right.
there. Yeah, that last one, we had to put it in there. You know, we knew Joe and Walshie were coming on, so we're like,
they'd
let's-
enjoy it.
something that they can vibe with, and they
Right.
don't just drone out. You know, we put that there. But yeah, so this is the part of the podcast where we talk about just what's been going on with us and what games we've been playing and things like that.
Yeah.
We'll kick it over to the guests. I feel like we'll be
Yeah.
polite and whatnot,
Let's do that.
even though we can probably guess what they're gonna say.
Yeah.
Joe, what have you been
Yeah.
playing this past week?
So I've I've spent most of my time this last week playing the best RPG of all time, which I assume you're all quite acquainted with. It's Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah,
Motherfucker.
cut the feed, cut the feed,
Fuck yeah.
cut the feed.
Let's go.
Walshie, what have you been playing?
Well, I finished Miles Morales and I've been playing a bit of Crash 4. But that's been it, basically.
Okay.
That's
That's an
refreshing.
actual
actually. That's an
answer.
actual answer. Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
What's going on right there? How's it been going for you? Have you been enjoying Miles Morales and stuff like that?
Miles Morales is fucking sick. Joe
Yeah.
has a really shit
Wrong.
take. Like,
Wrong.
Joe has a proper conversations take on Miles
Oh,
Morales.
hold
Wow.
on, hold on.
Wow.
Let's hear it. Joe, defend yourself.
Okay, it's not even this man over exaggerates all my takes, but all I'm saying is Spider-Man Miles Morales isn't that good. It isn't
It
that
is.
good.
Before
It's
you
incredible.
continue there, Joe, because I wrote some stuff down in preparation for this episode right here.
Okay.
Joe thinks Red Dead Redemption 2 is better than God of War. Discuss.
That is
Thinks.
true.
What do you mean thinks? That's not an opinion. That's
That is
bona
just a
fide
fact. You can't fight him on that.
You guys can't see it, but in the video version, I'm sipping on a mug of energy drink, but pretend it's tea in the Kermit the Frog style
Yeah.
thing. Joe.
Yeah, you have a bad take, but that's none of my business.
No, realistically,
Exactly.
I mean, God of War, sure, it has a bald dude, right? That's it.
It has.
Red Dead
it has-
Redemption.
it
That's
has-
God of War.
That's it.
Trying to sell someone on God of War. Well,
Yeah.
it's got a bald dude. in it.
Explain it to a caveman. Well, there's a bald
Red Dead
guy,
Redemption 2 has full cast.
a man with a full head of
Oh,
hair.
There you go.
Well, no, a full
So
cast
done.
of men
Two
with
characters.
a head of hair. Yeah.
But just so you know, my stance, and in fact Shep's stance, I think Shep says he puts it in the top 3, but the differences is absolutely, you couldn't tell. You
Yeah.
need to look under a microscope to tell which games are the top, is number 1.
Yeah.
But I say God of War is actually my favourite game ever.
Not just favourite. I think it's
Jesus.
arguably like the best game ever made. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which
So
is a fair enough point.
were you-
when I
find,
heard
like-
you... When
Sorry.
I heard you say that on the podcast, when I was at work and I just chuck it on and I'm like working away, and then I hear it, I was like, "What? How dare he? How dare he? The Founded Scarab dies today. The Founded Scarab dies today.
Hit list. Like
Exactly.
the real hit list. Number 1. Move everything down. Number
Everything
1.
moves down. He's
Yeah.
up there. So go on. What have you got to say for yourself? What have you got to say for yourself?
Were you a fan of like the old God of War games though?
No.
No, actually.
Because from what I've heard, God of War 2018 has a lot of elements that are worse than the old games. And if you're a downgrade from your past games, then you can't be considered the best game of all time. You can't be considered
It's
better
'cause
than Red Dead 2, which is the perfect sequel in every way.
The combat evolved. So, like, in the original God of War games, which we played a little bit of, they're much more like hack and slash.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Where God of War is a bit more like RPG with hack and slash in it.
Yeah, and also not to forget that it's a triumph in storytelling,
Graphics,
direction,
visual storytelling,
character building, in every bloody sense of the word. Let's not forget all of that.
Red
And
Dead
that's
2
why-
is all of that better, though.
No, no, okay, so you're wrong
Definitely.
there.
Everything you
okay.
listed, Red
It's
Dead 2
okay to
does
be
better.
wrong, Walshie. It's okay to be wrong. You just have to be okay with being wrong.
Yeah.
And that's for you to decide, right?
Well,
Look, Red
if
Dead is great. I loved Red Dead.
Yeah, same.
But I did... you did...
It's on my it's on my PlayStation.
Sheps hasn't played Red Dead yet because it's such a behemoth of a game. It's like, oh god,
What?
how do I start that?
What-
Yeah, he
How
hasn't.
can you have a stance?
He's not very. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's saying God of War is amazing. That's all he's saying. He's not saying Red Dead or something like that. But
Yeah.
I'm saying that.
Okay.
I'm not saying I prefer Odyssey to Red Dead, 2 games I haven't played. But
You've put 400 hours in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I
What are you
hate
talking
that
about?
this guy obviously misread his cue, right? He was meant to say 40, and like he needs glasses and saw an extra 0. Right? There's no way he was.
That's going down in history. It's like the what's the Diablo Immortal?
Don't you all have phones?
Don't you all have phones? It's that. It's
Yeah.
gone down in history as that.
Yeah,
now.
right.
But okay, so you've been playing Spider-Man Miles Morales, and you're loving it. Joe is
Yeah.
hating it because we've heard his takes.
He
It's
hates good things,
He
yeah.
hates good things. That's right.
Exactly.
that is
Yeah.
actually true.
But tell us what it is about Spider-Man that you're enjoying. Tell us a little bit more about it, genuinely, and we'll
Right.
try and shut up.
I think Spider-Man Miles Morales is better than Spider-Man 2018
Ooh,
like-
that's a claim.
by a
I
margin.
feel like Spider-Man
right?
2018 definitely has its problems. Like you can't crash into the ground. I will be honest, the combat's really annoying. Like if you dodge something before the prompt comes, it hits you.
It needs to be within a window, right?
Yeah.
It's within a window.
Mm.
So you can't be like, oh, that guy's about to do this attack. I'll get out the way because then it just auto hits you.
Yeah. You have to wait for the spider sense to go off.
Yeah,
and
that's
what you do.
frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm with you a bit on the... I don't know. I've never thought about it objectively to think whether or not it's better than the 2018 Spider-Man, but I loved Miles Morales, and I thought it was on par with the version of Miles Morales that we got from Into the Spider-Verse, the
Yeah.
movie. I was
Really?
like, this Miles Morales is good, and I really like the Miles Morales in Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
But I never thought about to directly compare it against 2018 Spider-Man. Maybe I'll
Just
do
so
that.
you know, Joe is seething right
Yeah.
now.
That's,
Well, let it all out.
That's,
Let
that's
that pressure out.
blasphemous. That is blasphemous.
I mean, unless we're talking about ancient Egypt, Joe doesn't care about anything. So
Exactly. That's what he cares about. Assassin's Creed Origins. It's got the pyramids.
Like realistically, like I don't know. I feel like the story of Spider-Man Miles Morales is just a retread of Into the Spider-Verse, but significantly worse. With
It's not
far
significantly
less,
worse.
I don't know.
I mean,
Like
I mean, there's no Spider Pig, so
That is true.
it's
That
a
is
solid.
that's
that is a
facts.
minus
Yeah.
right there.
It's
That's
a
a con
solid-
right
Yeah.
there.
Joe, what have you been playing?
on a real, I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order. I went back
Okay.
after it got announced that Ubisoft, the best company of all time,
Jesus
would be getting their hands on
A
Star
company. Yeah.
Wars. Would be getting to make a 150-hour Star Wars open world RPG where you have to pay £10 for a yellow lightsaber. So
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta love that.
sounds like a good model right there.
That's what
Very
I want.
customer focused.
That's what we're all calling out for, really, in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ubisoft had the balls
Yeah.
to do it for
No,
us.
yeah.
EA weren't money hungry enough, so you got to
So-
go a step up, go at Ubisoft.
Right. How are you finding Fallen Order? What's your take on it?
Honestly,
having
when I
played it
first
now
pl-
like 2 years, right after it
I
came
think
out.
it's about 2
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
yeah, because when I first played it, I thought it was just kind of meh. I think in retrospect, like it deserves a bit more credit. I think Cal Kestis was an absolute dog shit character.
He's awful. He's one of the worst characters we've ever met. In fact,
Yeah.
the only good character, 2 good characters in that, are the dad guy at the end.
Yes, the father.
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah,
yes,
who makes
yes,
a
exactly, father
little
guy.
cameo,
Yeah.
and that witch from Dathomir.
Yeah,
As
the
far as
pale chip,
yeah.
the cloud of smoke. Yeah, yeah.
And a couple of the villains. So
Yeah.
like the villain there is interesting, and a couple of the Seven Sisters or whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, there's not a
what
single
about-
freaking character in the game.
What about Joe Pesci's hilarious alien?
Oh, God.
Wait, what's this?
You know,
Yeah.
on the ship, just the alien with the
Yeah.
big head that sounds like
Yeah.
Joe Pesci,
Oh yeah, right.
making terrible
Yeah, yeah,
one-liners every time you get on.
So
But-
overall, on your second playthrough, how did you find it?
Yeah, no. So like, I think it was a direction that I don't think anyone expected Star Wars to go in, and I think they pulled it off better than they probably should have. You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like the elements that were like Metroidvania-esque, like the exploration around the world.
Okay.
It was much better than God of War. No, it was better than I think it got credit for. I think a lot of people just kind of played it and then moved on and never thought of it again. You know.
I feel like comparing Fallen Order to God of War in any regard is just at every point it falls down to the point where the one thing that they actually do share, which is like being able to recall your lightsaber depending on what move you do,
Yeah.
not even close.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
worst thing is, I actually really did enjoy the combat when I wasn't
Yeah.
getting bugs.
Yeah.
But they sold it
There's
as this.
bugs in that game?
Apparently there was one or two.
Did you get
I think
the
Everything plus a few you've never heard of. I got everything. Also, what are you playing it on?
I'm playing on a base Xbox One, and I've never had bugs personally on it, which means that they don't exist.
Right.
It's a flawless
yeah.
game because
Yeah.
I've never personally had them.
It's just like they made a few things about that game. The combat is good. I did like it, but I had got the impression that unless you didn't need to be that singly guy on Twitter,
Oh, the guy
make-
that makes the awesome gifs.
the awesome combat gifts.
Oh,
Yeah, that
yeah.
you didn't need to be him to do awesome combat stuff. But it turns out that like actually, yeah, unless you are that guy, it's fairly vanilla. Which is unfortunate, but it was good fun.
I liked the game as well. There was just those. It was just those hilarious moments because we do a lot of comedy
Yeah.
here and whatnot. We always see the funny side of things. Just those moments of like Cal Kestis is going through a fucking cavern or whatever
God, I
it is,
hate this. I
and
know
then
exactly
you
what
see
you're
a
gonna
thing and
say.
it's glowing red, and you're like, why is that? Must be, and I can interact with it somehow, but I can't yet. And then after you go through the game about 30 hours in, he's like, I remember my training. I can jump. It's like, well, hold on a second.
Or like-
You didn't know how to jump until now?
The worst thing is like
I remember my training. Huh, there we go.
super early on, like you learn to wall run.
Yes.
Yeah.
But up until that point, there's very clearly stuff that you're supposed to be running on that you can't get to because ahead of it is stuff you know you can't do.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is the point? Also, I think Cal Kestis is an atrocious character.
Yeah.
Horrendously
He's
written.
not that bad.
Well, I don't think
He's
he
just
was
nothing.
great. This is the problem, and this is with Star Wars.
I would say he wasn't good.
Yeah,
Not even great.
Sure.
Just
Whenever
not
we've
good.
heard of a Star Wars game coming out, remember like back when Battlefront happened.
Yeah.
And they were like, you're gonna play as either stormtroopers or just random rebel people and whatnot. We was like, great.
Sick.
If you, I would like to play as these people and
Yeah.
whatnot. It'd be great. If you're not gonna give me Liam Neeson, if you're not gonna give me Ewan
Right,
McGregor,
right.
if you're not gonna give me these characters, then I just want to play as a stormtrooper. I just want to play as this and
Yeah.
whatnot. And then when they gave us the heroes and the way they did, it was like, that's even better. And that's kind of what they did. They were like, well, if we're not going to go for Anakin Skywalker and we're not going to get Hayden Christensen, then I guess we just go for someone else, like random that nobody knows.
Can I ask you
But
guys
then
a
it just
question? As we've all now established that Fallen Order is not good.
It's terrible. But
The
It's
worst thing is,
fine,
10
isn't
out
it?
of 10.
I wanted to like it. I wanted to love it. Let me say that, right?
Yeah.
It's not bad. Even with all the bugs, I had fun. You're playing a space wizard with a laser sword. It's never going to be awful.
There's a flaw. It can't go below.
Right, it can't go below like, not bad.
Yeah.
Right? Plus you get the father guy at the end, which
the
was such a
father
good
guy, yes.
cameo.
In case you guys didn't know, Joe Morshi, father guy is Darth Vader.
what his girlfriend-
that
Oh,
makes a
I
lot
didn't
more
reach
sense.
the end.
Right at the end. My girlfriend basically, she can't say all of the characters. She calls the stormtroopers snow troopers, and she calls Darth Vader the father guy.
It's because English is her second language is the important
Yeah, and
thing.
then
So
the-
like a few things just,
I picked her up off a
Yeah.
boat. That's what happened.
that's
there.
it. She's what do they call them? Freshies.
Freshies,
Yeah, that's it.
Mail order.
So I want to get your guys' opinions because we have another game coming out, the Harry Potter Legacy, whatever the frick it's called.
Yeah, Hogwarts
Yeah.
Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy.
That's it.
Do you think the Ubisoft game, forgetting Ubisoft and all the sexual assault that's going to be going on,
Sort of
where's
hard to
Ashras?
forget, Shep.
It will be
You know,
happening.
I'm going to find Ashras' fucking thing and send him handwritten notes instead of tweets. Do you think that the game should take place like Hogwarts Legacy in the world, but with nobody that we know? Like, if you get the choice.
Yeah.
Or...
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, I've told you my stance on this. I freaking hate the cast of Harry Potter, but I love the world that it's in.
Yeah.
So if you just need to say we're gonna get rid of Harry, yes. So, where do I
talking about
sign?
Star Wars, you
where do I
mug.
sign?
Wait, so do you mean like
Hogwarts.
100 years before everything else happened?
Right.
Or
So
like
with the
100
Star
years.
Wars game,
Yeah.
I'm saying, do you think that we should, like, you grow up as young Qui-Gon, or you're like 100 years before any of this happens, brand new adventure, brand new villains. I mean, Yoda's going to be there because that motherfucker's like 1,000,000 years old.
Yeah, he has to be there. Yeah.
But other than that, like, you know,
That's interesting because there is actually a topic about that. There's rumors of a KOTOR revival happening.
that's
or
this.
That'd
I
be-
swear you.
No, this is actually separate. This is
Okay,
separate.
okay,
So
okay.
now the floodgates are open. Now EA don't have the license, but we'll talk about that when it comes to it. In fact, why don't we try to get into this podcast? How many 25 minutes in? Let's
frick
see if we
'em.
can start.
It's only other people. Like, there's only paying customers' free time we're using up. So.
Exactly. They're like, oh, I've got some free time for a 3-hour podcast. Let's go
Right.
and do that right now. So yeah, guys, if you're new around here, this is the True Gamer podcast.
That's
happening
right. This
every-
podcast in particular was brought to you by the cyberbullies.
1 second before you do
Over
that.
on
I'm in the middle of
patreon.com/conversations
something.
at the $5 tier. Frick those guys.
I'm
Who do
going
we
to
have to thank?
completely ignore what he's saying. This is the True Gamer podcast that happens on the Comboplations channel every Saturday. You guys can come here and join us for the premiere. We all chat together and have a good time. It's all good stuff. And we're on podcast services around the world. If you guys are listening on YouTube, watching on YouTube, or listening on podcast services, hit that like button, rate us 5 stars, whatever you're doing. If you're, like we said, driving the ambulance,
Yeah.
pull over to the side of the
Yeah.
road, get your phone
Of
out,
course,
and
yeah.
then like the video.
And make sure you
rate
go
and
in the
stuff like
back. That guy having the heart attack or the stroke, like you.
Pull out his phone.
Yeah, thumb scan it, face scan it.
Yeah, exactly.
Go
Make
to
sure
the
he likes
YouTube
it,
channel,
stuff like that.
subscribe. Like you know the deal.
The deal like that.
Text your parole officer, all of that.
If you guys are enjoying the work we do here, enjoying the podcast, enjoying the stuff in your ears right now, you guys can support us a little bit more if you choose to by heading over to patreon.com/conversations, where you can get an exclusive podcast, the Conversations podcast,
That's
for as
right.
little as $1 a month and exclusive access to other things. You guys should go check that stuff out over
That's
there.
right. I love how you bulldoze through my this True Gamer podcast brought to you by the True Gamers at the $5 tier.
Well, I've
then
got-
do your own ad.
I've got my own thing going on here, and you just bulldoze me. So fuck you guys. Anyway, and then
now you're gonna have to work in the True Gamers.
Sorry, we'll work it in. I work
Yeah.
it in.
No, you work it
as
in.
well as that.
I want to see.
As well- I
I'm
will-
definitely
oh.
not going to trip you up.
I can't
I'm
talk
definitely
at
not
all.
going to trip you up.
This is so Walshie, we're swapping you for Sheps, right?
Right? Yeah. All right. Cool.
Because honestly, he hasn't been talking, and I fucking prefer.
I know, that's way better. He's our James.
Walshie's a submissive. I like that.
I'm 17.
2
for
weeks
one.
later, Walsh in a gimp suit, like just an AC Valhalla branded latex gimp suit.
You're talking about his deep fantasies right there.
This doesn't
Anyway.
happen on the Eagles call at all.
No,
Yeah,
definitely
behind the
not.
scenes.
I don't hear it at all, never. As well as that, if you guys want to, you can head down in the description. There's lots of links there to our merch store, really cool stuff like a Tech Issues mug, Tech Issues t-shirt.
Is this just a big
And-
ad for all your shit?
We do have to
Yeah,
put
why
it
do
in
you think we do
somewhere.
this?
And for the month of January and
Yeah.
February, we are raising money to help fund the future of Conversations. We've got these cool new mics and stuff like that. We're hopefully going to get a new camera for Sheps. And if you want to support us at the $15 tier, the Super Bro tier, you are eligible to get one of these t-shirts, the official True Gamer t-shirts with your gamer tag on the back over
you can
there.
see that.
Which is really cool and awesome. I've got one myself. I'm a little bit biased,
Yeah.
so you know. I mean, of course, I'll tell you it's amazing. Just like Cyberpunk, I'll tell you that's.
I feel
amazing too.
like this ad could have been streamlined if you just said, "Hey, bro, I want to work an ad in," because we also have the code January for the month of January, and I think it goes into February for 20% off the merch store. So anybody that wants that, it'll all be in the description. If we're gonna frick it, we'll pimp everything. We also have a Discord. It's actually the best Discord on the internet. I apologize for the hazing that you get when you join it, but after that it calms down, it becomes the coolest place to just hang out, talk about like movies, games, TV shows, all that stuff. Anime, of course, anime.
Exactly.
Are you done?
I think that's about
No,
it.
you need to work in our $5 patrons, the true gamers cyberbullies that made this whole podcast happen.
Exactly. Those people before I wish I had the
It's all right. Basically, we just invited our mates on to listen to us do ads for our own merch. But luckily, because we know Joe and Walshie support us, they've both pledged $500.
Yeah, they're actually at the $500 tier. They're at the highest tier.
Yeah.
Is
It's the only
it's
reason
not-
we're on today.
Trying to
It's
get
not
it
showing-
to 700.
This is the $5
They bought their way onto the
It's
podcast.
the $500 Patreon tier thing where you get to be a guest on the podcast.
Exactly. So those people are, thanks for that little stall, by the way, because I didn't have it up at all.
Cool.
Jeremy Horde, Record Friction, Diogo, Adam Sumling, Isak Manny, Dan, Cats Bacoral, Real Kermit Cinema, Sab2557, Doc Nutella, Super Whale Ben, Albiscori, Poopy, De Scoop, Diddy, Whoop Whoop, De Scoopy, De Poop. Hooded Dude, Benedict Clobbers, Batfan527, Max H, Fishy. See, even Fishy comes in. You
That's
guys
right.
don't even
Fishy
say
knows.
anything. Zahir, Christian0210, and Cobra SS. Thank you, bros, so much for keeping the lights and mics on, the gaming going here at the True Gamer Podcast. And now that's all done. And it was done so smoothly.
It was so smoothly. I can take off my suit now because we're not doing promo.
By the way, speaking of suits, our last episode, the premiere went live for everybody on YouTube.
God.
And I was there with the guys. It was a big moment. Was like, all right, guys, this is a good episode because we finally got the new microphones.
Yeah.
And it's going to sound beautiful. You guys are going to hear the best audio possible. We're going to sound like proper podcasters. And the podcast counting down is that YouTube countdown from 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And everyone's in the chat like, let's go. The podcast starts. Dead silence. No sound whatsoever. And I'm like, oh my god, something's gone wrong with the render, and I didn't even check it. I just fucking uploaded it like that, and then just left it.
How
I was
do
like,
you
oh
do
my god.
that?
Look. What it is, I was messing around with some other assets for another intro I'm doing, and I didn't need the audio because the audio was still all messed up and it would be distracting.
Yeah.
So I rendered it without audio, but it saved the setting. So in the next thing that I did, it just did it like that, and I was like, oh fucking. Anyway, everyone's like, God damn it, Sheps, the suit of conversations has locked the audio behind the Patreon paywall. Can you believe he did that? And then everyone just started tweeting you and everything
did,
like
yeah.
that. And I was like, oh shit.
Calling me a suit where it's the one thing I'm genuinely have only one bigoted opinion, and it's about suits. It's my genuine thing. Like, I couldn't care less what color your skin is, where you stick your willy, all of that stuff. Couldn't care less. But if you're a suit, if you're like middle management, if you say vis-a-vis in a meeting in the morning that's supposed to take, you say synergy, it's supposed to take 10 minutes, but it runs 45.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
But then they call you that. It's so perfect.
I hate
it's
it so
beautiful.
much.
But anyway, sorry about that, and I hope it doesn't happen again in this podcast today.
So,
Yes.
we actually do have guests.
Yes, we do.
And I know our fans couldn't give a frick about them.
Yeah.
And I know neither of us could either, but I think it's polite to let them talk. Should we give them a topic and let them go for a bit?
Yeah, so let's go with the first topic, and you guys can let us know what this is. Spoiler warning: this episode is going to be titled "Horrifically Clickbaited." I hope the conversation makes up for it.
What's
though.
the clickbait?
I'm going to put the the clickbait title as "Why does Xbox keep making anti-consumer moves?"
That's not that bad.
Oh, we can come with something else.
We're gonna
Xbox
work.
tried to
That's true,
screw
though.
you again. There you go. That's
That's
what we're going to do
fair.
right there.
What about like
Xbox hates
Xbox
gamers.
memo uncovered?
Right, I'm
These
writing
are
that
just
great
an
down.
ideas,
straight
guys.
line.
Great
Yeah,
ideas. The topic is that Xbox decided to raise the price of Xbox Live Gold membership, or in fact double the price.
Yeah.
And then immediately went back on that and reverted to the previous price right there. So, if you guys didn't know,
I mean, how do you share games on a PS4?
Oh, you just
This just reminds me of this.
It was so rings of 2013 Xbox, right? So, guys, in case you didn't know, Xbox on Friday announced that they will be raising the prices of Xbox Live Gold, which is the subscription you need to play online with any of your games. And on Xbox specifically, you need to pay that in order to play free-to-play games as well.
Yeah, it's your way onto the internet, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But every other system seems to be okay. You don't need it. They raised the price, not $10, not $20, but they doubled the price to
100%.
$120 a year.
Yeah.
Mad.
The internet didn't like it. Turns
Weirdly.
out. Strange, right?
People don't like getting screwed.
And then we got the worst possible apology of all time.
Exactly.
Fucking
What
horrible.
was it? We have your best interests at heart, guys. We love you, so we're gonna go back against doubling the price, even though we already did it.
I've got the tweet here.
Did anybody go and watch the South Park apology video that I talked about on
In the
podcast?
last episode,
Yeah.
you was talking about
with the oil guy.
Yeah, after BP had their big spill in wherever that was, South Park made this episode of that guy making all his apologies, and by the end of it, he's naked on a rug in a fire by a fireplace in a cabin, saying "We're sorry." Like it's just a suit saying like "We love you, we appreciate you, please keep giving us your money."
It is. And yeah, as I said, shortly after they made that hike, the internet went on fire, and then they reversed it like mere hours later.
Yeah.
There's conspiracy theories out there and stuff like that, but we won't get into that right now. Let's hand it over to our guests over here. What did you guys feel about the price hike and then the reversal? How do you guys feel about everything that went on there? Should we go with Walshie first?
I think we should just throw the knife down and see which one of them gets it. Go. Yeah.
Honestly, it's such a struggle because Jack has this thing where he'll wait 3 seconds of silence to see if he should talk or not. And
Right. Even after you hand the mic to him, he's
It's
like,
always the most painful 3 seconds of all
We
time.
need buzzers like they have on fucking Countdown away. Decide who can talk. Alright, price hike. Not good, and I don't like it, right?
Yeah.
First of all, Xbox are not in the position to be pulling moves like this right now, because they need as many advantages over Sony as is possible right now. And to do something so blatantly fucking anti-consumer, it's just another up for Sony. But as you say, the apology is what got to me most. I would prefer if they were just alright, we were bastards, we want more money, you're not going to give us your money, fine. But instead they were like, alright guys,
I got the tweet here for you. Today was not great. This is from the official Xbox. Today was not great. We always try to do our to do the best for our. We always try to do our best for you, and today we missed the mark. We hear you, and we're reversing the Xbox Live pricing updates. That's
honestly, it would have been better if they just left it. Because the amount of condescension it felt when they were like, "Oh, we want the best for you," after doing it. Xbox have tried to paint themselves as the good guys for the past 6 months to try and save the Xbox Series X from collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they are just suits, aren't they?
They are just suits, and that apology should have been this tweet. Well, that was a mistake. Not doing that.
We're not going to do that.
That should have been it. That should have been it. None of this. We love you. We tried to. It's bullshit. Yeah. Because
realistically, Xbox Live shouldn't even exist in the first place, let alone anymore.
That's a good thing. Before this, all the people on Twitter and all the people all the Xbox fans and people who, not industry insiders, but people who really are hardcore on Xbox, they were like, "Watch this. Microsoft have so much money and they're throwing it left, right, and center and don't give a crap about what they do. They'll make Xbox Live free, which will be a huge win for them and a huge advantage." And then the next thing that comes out, double in the press, guys, double in the press. Here we go.
I think it's quite obviously a cash grab for Game Pass. Because Game Pass includes the Xbox Live service.
Yeah, the Ultimate Edition. It would have brought it so close that it would have been nearest makes no difference. Might as well get that.
Right. The only problem is Game Pass doesn't make enough money to plug the holes in the sinking Xbox ship. And Sony destroyed Game Pass with the PS Plus collection. Which, boys, do both of you have any PlayStation products?
PS
Real gamers do have a PlayStation 5. Joe, you have a PlayStation 5, right?
Yeah, I got the PS5, and PS Plus was such an absolute lifesaver. Yeah,
right.
Have you got yourself PlayStation 5?
Yes, I have actually.
Hold on a second. This is
I know.
It was quite recently. I remember on the last podcast, he was like, "I can't believe it's this hard to give a corporation $500. I can't believe it."
I fucking know, but I've done it, and
Good.
Yeah.
Pretty
good.
So the thing is, go and check out the PS Plus collection, right? That has some of arguably the best games ever made on it. Like whether it's your thing or not, but like The Last of Us remastered, God of War 4, Persona 5. That's just like a couple off the top of my head. Detroit Become Human, I think, is on there.
It's on there, yeah.
A banger. Like there's a ton of great things.
First three you mentioned are all like 90 something on Metacritic, so they're like the best reviewed games ever.
I'd say the Last of Us, despite not having any gameplay, is one of my greatest games ever made.
The gameplay's fine. It's what it needs to be.
It's not.
You're are playing a movie. That's what you're doing.
You play a movie.
It's not heavy rain. Like it's weighty. It's as weighty as it should be.
But the storytelling is insane.
Yeah.
But basically, that comes at. You need that to use the services, right? It's part of the model. So you get it anyway. But included in that are God of War, the greatest game ever made.
Yeah.
The Last of Us 1, one of the greatest stories, if not the greatest story ever told. Persona 5, like the best JRPG. Yeah, I was trying to think of I thought J-pop, K-pop. I couldn't get it in there.
So here's gonna crucify you in the comments.
Exactly. Right, like it's arguably one of the best JRPGs out there. Final Fantasy VII Remake's on there, isn't it?
I don't know if Remake's on there. I know there is a Final Fantasy game on there.
It's Final Fantasy 15.
Okay.
I think, yeah, something like that. But like, there is a ton of titles on there.
Yeah.
Almost every single one. What? So
Resi 7, arguably one of the best horror games ever.
Oh no shit!
Right, like
that's it.
Arguably every single one of those games. If I wanted to play God of War now, and someone's like, you have to go out and buy it full retail.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, no problem for me.
Yeah.
No problem. Last of Us 1, you have to go out and buy it full retail. Fine, no problem for me. It is insanely good value for money, even at full retail price. And the fact that you can get them functionally for free, like just included, just blows Game Pass out of the water. Because all the games, unless either of you disagree with this, our position is the games on Game Pass are games that you're like, oh, I'd been meaning to play that, but like I was never going to go out and buy it. But now that it's here for free, I might check it out. Right.
You know what? I thought of another analogy to add to that.
Okay.
Games that you know, when there's a huge number of games coming out in like say 2 months.
Yes.
And you play the first one and then the next one comes out and you feel so guilty that you've left this other game to play this one because like I really love that one as well, but I haven't got the time to play it.
Yeah.
The games on Game Pass you don't feel guilty if you put down.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not how a game should make you feel. It should give you the enjoyment. Unfortunately, that is the state of the Game Pass games.
Yeah. Like,
and also another one, they're like those bad Netflix shows that they put up. There's just tons of them. And it's just like, I don't want to watch those. I'm here for The Witcher, okay?
Yeah.
That's what I paid for.
Yeah, and that's what you get on
the
PS
eight
Plus.
The 8 games on PS Plus or whatever, like the 12 games on PS Plus are better than 95% of the, whatever, like 150 games
I'd argue any one individually probably beats out anything on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think there's some like proper like the Metal Gear Solid 5's on there. I think
they have this. Is the thing, they have volume, so there's always going to be something that somebody really adores, and you can't compete with.
There's a couple
fandom.
diamonds in the rough.
Exactly. So like, while I might look at them and I might go, okay, there's some decent games in here I might like. There's going to be a nutter who really, really loves Ori and the Willow and the Wisp. It's like, that is my favorite game all the time because I love the art style in that.
Yeah.
And they think that that's worth it. And that's it's opinion based and stuff like that, much like our opinions are. But if you were to get them all like in the standardized test way and you would say, okay, let's pop up the Metacritic scores and stuff like that, it's totally weighted in Sony's side. And then it gets even worse when you consider all of the monthly games that you get with PS Plus as well. So this month, which is one of the topics coming up, you get the Ultimate Edition of Control, which is the brand new souped up version with ray tracing and everything that they are selling to people rather than just giving a free update.
Yeah.
So, and that's like by itself, people are like, oh, that's amazing. That's fantastic.
Getting that one game for free functionally is the price of the PS Plus for the whole year.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
Because that thing I think is selling for like $60 or $70.
Yeah, and people are buying it because it's worth it.
Exactly.
It's worth the money.
I'll tell you something. So, Xbox now can never, in my mind, they can never up their prices of Xbox Live Gold.
nah.
It's not worth it.
Well, no one will do it, and also they put the price up. People had an adverse reaction, and the fact they've gone back on it is sort of like them saying, yes, it isn't worth that much money. So they can never now go forward. So that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the reason was for them to up the price? Why do you think they did it?
Maybe because they made the interesting decision to spend $9 billion on Bethesda.
Fucking, I mean, that's the fucking the first one you think, right? That's the key component right there. I think it's all of the stupid purchases and all of the stupid money spending that they've done. So we've come out and we've said on here, like, we know that Game Pass isn't a profitable product itself right now. They have, I think yesterday they announced they've got 18 million subscribers on there. Now that they don't say how much money they're making per month.
So this is the thing. You assume they're paying full price for Game Pass, but the fact is Game Pass constantly runs these things of like, if you're new to it, you get the first like 3 months for free or $1 or something.
$1. I think there's a promotion on Pop-Tarts where you get 3 months for free and stuff like that. And that's the number that they're touting all the time.
Yeah.
The number of subscribers, which doesn't equate to money. Even if they were paying the, like, say $10 a month, which would be like somewhere in the middle. I think it's $14.99 for the full price. Let's say $10.
Still going to take them 7 years just to recover from Bethesda.
I was going to say it's $180 million a month. They're saying right there, but that's, if you think about how much money they have to pay all the developers for all of the 100+ games they have on there. And that money eventually as well has to go into their own studios, because now they're putting all of their own games on there for no extra cost and whatnot.
Luckily, they don't spend $500 million on a Halo that doesn't work.
Yeah,
'Cause that would
luckily they didn't do that.
That would suck.
Right?
That would really be a draw on the resources, you know.
And today, Medium came out for Xbox, and I was super excited for it. I was
You
like,
actually have an Xbox One. So.
I do, so I was like, maybe I could try it out. And I had a look to see what the reviews are saying and stuff like that. Turns out it's a meh game. It's like a 7 out of 10, and people are just like, the controls are clunky, and it's like the stories sometimes don't line up and stuff like that.
A 7 out of 10 isn't going to work for your first exclusive title when the last exclusive title on the PlayStation was Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Boys, have both of you played that?
Not yet,
No.
but I'm
They don't
now
wanna
I've got
play-
a PS5.
They don't want to play games that compete on the same level of AC of a parkour.
Well, nothing does.
Imagine
you know,
Ghost of
nothing at all.
Tsushima. Imagine Ghost of Tsushima is Assassin's Creed, except it's good, and then it's set in Japan with good parkour, good combat, and a good story.
Wait,
We're not
that-
doing
that-
this again.
Just
We're
those
not doing the
changes.
parkour thing again. Fuck me.
But yeah, I was saying that money that we've theoretically put up and whatnot is not enough to cover all of
not
the
even
things
close.
like that. And anyone who thinks so is, unfortunately, living in your own make-believe world. It doesn't cover it. And we've said before, they have to do something to try and make that work. They can't just keep making promotions and getting people in for $1 and then they disappear after that, right? I think this price hike was a way for them to either push people to Game Pass, the people that aren't on Game Pass, because I think they've got 100 million subscribers on Xbox Live Gold, but only 18 million on Game Pass. Push people to there, or if they don't move, then basically they're paying that much anyway.
Because if you think about it, Xbox Gold is what, like $60 for the year, right?
Yeah.
But $10 a month is $120 a year.
Yeah.
Right? But so pushing that price up makes Game Pass look much more attractive. And the fact is that a lot of people, the majority of people who, like, let's say they're slightly older, they're not like waiting for their Christmas money to buy their games. Most of those people can spare $9.99 a month and not notice it's going, like your Netflix. How many times have you watched everything on Netflix, left it for 3 months, but not cancelled it in case something comes up, right?
Or keep watching the old same thing over and over again.
Right. That's the model, and so they want people on that with the small reoccurring, but a lot of a little ends up being quite a lot, right? That's the premise. The issue, as far as I can tell, is they're not offering anything. Their value proposition's upside down. Now, this isn't the whole thing, because obviously there are console sales, there are game sales, but we've seen the Xbox numbers.
Exactly, they're not making waves in that either.
Combined, the Series S and X are like only just ahead of the PS4.
Yeah, the PS4 seems to be doing really good every month in comparison to Xbox Series X.
Right, because you can still play most of those games on it.
Yeah.
Almost everything runs on the PS4.
Yeah.
Almost everything on the PS Plus collection. Yeah. Everything, right? So the value proposition is upside down. If a previous generation console from your competitor can almost outperform both of your current consoles, which is an issue. They shouldn't have released them both, but never mind. You're upside down, and then what exclusives do they have?
What they're you go on. You guys give me your feelings as well on this Game Pass and stuff like that.
I think eventually it's just going to lead to. I think Game Pass is bound to end up being a below average service. I think it's going to continually just lose the quality that it has. The last year they've had. I think they're just going to stuff it with as much volume as possible, but I think we're going to have far less third party exclusives on it. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised if within the next 15 years or so, Xbox or Microsoft generally have just completely distanced themselves from the market they're in now and tried to create their own unique market with incorporating PC and Xbox together like Nintendo kind of did.
They're already trying to go after Stadia and Amazon.
They say Google and Amazon are our real competitors.
Yeah, our true competitors are those guys, not PlayStation. It's like, it's a fight. It's like going, my real opponent in a boxing match isn't actually Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
It's actually not. It's actually that disabled kid down the road.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
So no matter what happens with Floyd, he's not my real competitor.
He's not my real.
It's ridiculous. Now, in fairness, there's an argument to be made that Microsoft has different competition. Mm. But this isn't Microsoft, this is the Xbox division.
Exactly.
Sony isn't PlayStation.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
PlayStation is one, don't get me wrong, a very high performing part of the Sony business.
Yeah.
But it's one division of Sony. Yeah. And it's freaking killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Sony they have their movie wing, they have tech cameras, players, all sorts TVs, everything,
stuff,
right?
Yeah.
And
film studios as well.
Right. There's just no way that Microsoft have got frick you money.
Yes.
But not an unlimited amount. Eventually it's I feel like you're fricked enough money,
as well as that, we keep saying, the reason why they're doing all this stuff, the reason why Game Pass works and is only coming from Microsoft and Xbox is because of that frick you money.
Yeah.
No other company has tried doing it because they know it's not a profitable business model. And in business, you don't do that. Whereas these guys are trying to hopefully create something out of nothing and hopefully brute force their way into it. But it's not working because the public image of... Exactly. And I feel like even with the frick you money, eventually, there has to be one suit that starts the wave and goes, guys... Because, since 2013, they've been trying to change the image of Xbox. Yeah. They've trying to make it pro-consumer, even though every now and again they do these stupid anti-consumer things and whatnot. They've been trying to change it. They've been trying to come up with something. They've been trying to push this Game Pass thing. How much time has to go past for you to finally go, okay, guys, we funded $20 billion. You've bought all of these studios and this huge service. It has resulted us in debt.
Yeah.
You guys have been shut down. There's no more. See you later. Goodbye. We're not funding anything more. At what point do we reach that? Because it doesn't matter if Microsoft's still making money hands over fist. They can't just be like, we'll make money over here, and then we'll just accept a 20 billion loss every other year.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
There is an even worse alternative, which is first of all, I think Microsoft is lucky because the only other competitors in the space, which are Nintendo and Google, aren't in actually their same space.
Yeah,
so
they're only in their own thing.
Right, Nintendo is in its whole league of its own. It's never brought up in the console war because Nintendo isn't part of it. They don't have to be part of it. They're Nintendo. I'm always buying a Switch. There's no console war. No one's like, well, you getting the Xbox or the Switch? You get a Switch and then you decide if you're getting a PlayStation or an Xbox.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. It's just how it is. You get Pokemon because it's Pokemon. You get...
unless you're James and Walshie and Joe, which then you're like, which one is Assassin's Creed on?
Right.
And then you get that one.
Right.
That's what you get. Yeah.
So they're very lucky that they don't have to compete with Nintendo because if they did, they'd be dead.
Yes.
It's just somehow, because it's not in the same consumer space, they haven't had to put up those numbers.
Which, by the way, Switch numbers, every time the MPD thing comes out, it's always flying off the shelf. So it's like 3 years down the line. These motherfuckers, console. It's great. It's
if they still sold the Game Boy Color, I'd probably buy a new one.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So they're really lucky they don't have to compete with Nintendo. And in fairness, so is Sony, because it's an entirely different part of the market that they service, and Sony doesn't even touch it.
I don't think they could as well. They have
no, they couldn't.
When it comes to those family games, is there any family games you guys think of that PlayStation do that could?
They kind of tried with the PS Vita.
Oh, the Vita, the Vita did die, unfortunately.
The Vita was a cool idea. I wish they'd bring that back again, but
it was at the wrong time.
That competed directly with Nintendo.
Yes.
And what happened?
And then they tried, the Kinect and whatever. Remember when
Kinect
PlayStation
was
3?
Yeah.
When the PlayStation 3 had those.
No,
big
really.
She would like the Kinect.
Nah. You needed like an acre of land in your fucking living room. That was the one downside. But Connect Harry Potter, Connect Adventures.
There we go.
There you go.
Excellent. No,
Combining
really.
the two things I hate the most, Harry Potter and Kinect.
Those were fucking revolutionary games, and I really enjoy them. And I will die on this hill. Cheers.
So I want to ask to round this out, which was Stadia hasn't been doing well.
It's been quietly trundling along in the corner.
That's the thing. It hasn't lost any ground. It hasn't been doing what hasn't grown, but it hasn't died. And if Google manages to figure out whatever its market is and what the real service it's going to offer is, and ties down like its value proposition, what games are going to be on it, how it plays, how to target only people with good enough internet and all that stuff. If player 3 enters the game, is that alone enough to kill Xbox? Because I might argue that it is.
It's possible. Especially because they might have a few years of experience under their belt by the time they spool up and whatnot, which is supposed to be happening soon. That xCloud service is supposed to be coming out soon, but we still don't hear anything of it. Yeah, shit.
But guys, what about Fallout? What about the new Fallout game? It'll save Xbox. New Fallout and new Elder Scrolls will save.
See, this is the argument that people keep bringing up. They're like, don't worry, Game Pass will be great because they'll fill it with all of these great
in 3 years' time.
Exactly. These new things that are coming in the pipeline, and that will make people want to go to Game Pass, and then that'll be that.
Forgetting it's been out for 6 months and has no standalone titles.
That as well.
Get rid of Halo, Fable's 3 years away at best, and Elder Scrolls hasn't really been announced. It's one in the works, maybe, kind of. But I haven't seen anything.
I have a counter to those people. So a game now, we don't know how much a standard game costs. They all change and whatnot. They're all varied. But the best ones obviously going to cost the most because they require the most talent and the most time and the best stuff and whatnot. Halo is ridiculous and costs $500 million and whatnot.
$500 million to go back to the drawing board.
To go back to the drawing board, guys, we need another year. We need another year. So that the grunt thing you saw, that's what 500 million bought you right there, guys. But the thing is that if Game Pass doesn't make the money, then they can't then take that money and then fund it into games to put on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So then either the quality of the games will be shit, or the service will eventually go away because Microsoft again are funding it from their own pocket, and then it's just not viable again. So this is a lose-lose situation. I don't see how
there's a shadow play for Game Pass, but the problem is it doesn't work. So the shadow play is that Game Pass can be a losing business, a losing model, as long as it pushes people to Xboxes.
Yes.
Specifically Xboxes, not PCs, because you don't get that same sort of profit share on the Xbox. Any microtransaction, anything like a Netflix subscription, it all goes through them. So if Game Pass lost money but it sold Xboxes, that would be acceptable. It would net, you'd be up. But the fact is, because Game Pass being quote unquote pro-consumer, which it isn't, people can play it on their PCs. We built a PC for just a little bit more than an Xbox Series 1 cost, and it outperforms the Series X. Series X, right? And it can do more things that it can do, and it can access more games than the Xbox can. Like, it's better in just about every way. So why would, and it has access to Game Pass. So if Game Pass pushed Xboxes, it would be worth it.
They shot themselves in the foot with that whole PC thing.
The only real market they have now that I can see is like a more casual audience, like with the Xbox Series S. You know, it's like, oh, we've got the far cheaper console. You can just, for people who just, are able to play like an hour or two of FIFA or COD or whatever.
Real question though.
That's the only market I really see.
And that's what they need to do with Game Pass, I think, because, like, as you were saying about trying to push people away from Xbox Live Gold into Game Pass, if people like me and you, true gamers, like, there's some brilliant games on here, like Master Chief Collection, Witcher 3. Like, people like me and you have played those games, but to people like Joe was saying, casual gamers, they haven't.
Like Joe,
and I feel instead of trying to, like, spread yourselves too thin and buy, like, a million fucking indie games, just get, like, games like The Witcher 3, obviously not games like that all the time, but big games that a lot of casual gamers won't have heard of. games like that to play.
If they trimmed it down to 50 games rather than 100 games, but then higher
20
quality
games.
Exactly.
Yeah,
20 good games, yeah.
Much better.
Yeah. 20 good games and 5 constantly cycling random games that maybe you would want to play.
Do you know what the problem is with that? That you'll be swarmed with games journos and stuff like that would come along and they'll be like, but you're not you're big guys, you're not supporting the indie gamers, you're not supporting them over there. And then you're like looking in your goddamn pocket, like, I got no fucking money left.
It's because the suits don't know how to deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm not worried about us ever getting cancelled, despite some of the really fricked up stuff that we say. Because getting, like, quote unquote cancelled doesn't work if you just retweet everything they're saying.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you just go with it, like, there's nothing they can do. But my point really is that Microsoft is run by suits that are always worried about how their stockholders are going to look at how they deal with things rather than dealing with it appropriately.
Yeah.
And I think...
So Sheps came up with a good idea in one of the previous podcasts in terms of how Xbox could make more money and also maybe make Game Pass a bit better.
How the hell do you remember this? I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about.
This is the problem. I have shit. I have shit memory, but for some reason I'll pluck this one thing out of the space. I'll be like, there you go.
What did I say then?
So you said...
You've really built this up. I hope I was smart when I said it.
They could come up for specifically the big titles like the Halos and the Avowed and whatever they come out with out of Bethesda, the shit that they come out with. The games they come out with there that are big titles, big AAA stuff that cost a lot. They should make a Game Pass Plus subscription.
Yeah.
So then maybe it's $5 more, maybe it's $10 more, whatever it is. But then you get the best of the best games that they come out with, and at least then that money can go to fund those games, and that's a business model. I know people don't, especially I find it's more people in America don't care about what the companies are getting, which to be fair, you shouldn't give a shit about the companies, but at the end of the day, they're going to give you a product. They need to be paid, and the money needs to cycle, it needs to go through. It can't just be you take everything, which is what Game Pass is at the moment. So this extra service would help put more money into them, and then you could get more back from it, and it's like a feedback loop.
The only thing is, and this was going to lead on to a question I also had, which is that there isn't really anything for you to play. And so that's kind of my question for Xbox is like, people said, maybe the casual guy gets the Series S. But a PS4 is cheaper than a Series S. And there's a lot more to play. Most of the third-party stuff you can play is everything cross-platform. And all of the best first-party stuff is on PlayStation. All of it. I love original Halo. Fine, you miss out on Halo, right? But they haven't had a good one in 13 years. Fable hasn't come out. It's probably not coming out for 3 or 4 years. Is at my estimation 2023, end of 23, if we're lucky.
People who love Fable, I see like Tyler and stuff like that. They're like, please let it be 2020. I'll be like,
no,
sweetie,
no.
Sweetie.
Please let it be 23. It needs I don't want it getting delayed. Tack on another year if you really think it's going to happen, and bring it out like those first 2 Fables. Working. You know.
Wait, was that a cyberpunk dig? How dare you? There you go right there. One final thing to put to that, they've now also made free-to-play games on there free, whereas before you still needed the subscription in order to play. Now you don't need that in order to play stuff like Warzone, Fortnite, etc.
Right.
Do you think the reason why they up the price, and I'll ask the guys because we talk a lot of shit, so the guys, I'll ask you guys, do you think that maybe the reason why they upped the price of Xbox Live Gold was also because Halo Infinite's multiplayer apparently is supposed to be free to play? And they would need the subscription based on the old model and whatnot. Do you reckon that they up the price so they can at least make something back from this behemoth? They spent for 500 million on it. Do you think that maybe that was a play?
Maybe like, that could definitely be there because with this massive success of like Warzone over the past 2 years, I could see them copying that. But
God, I hope not.
It's Halo Battle Royale might make me it might push me over the edge.
Well, we don't know if it's Battle Royale, but whenever you hear free to play, you think Battle Royale.
It is a Battle Royale. We know that's the only profitable model for free to play.
They can't not,
It may have a Battle Royale mode in it or something like that. It's great fun, let's be honest. But could you imagine taking something pure and classic and then just going, fuck it, put some Fortnite skins in there. Let's go, boys. All right.
That is a 2021 Xbox move. That is the exact shit they would do.
I'm actually really thinking about it. The reason battle royales work as free to play is because all the stuff is cosmetic, right?
Yeah.
It's just fancy skins for guns and fancy skins for your character model, your full guy, or whatever it is, right? Fallout guy said it.
Fallout guys. Keep saying Fallout.
The thing is, Master Chief's already wearing the sickest armor.
Yeah.
The
Anything's
guns,
a downgrade.
right?
Yeah,
The guns,
exactly.
the aesthetic is that they're war tools being used in the most vicious combat ever seen by our species. They're not supposed to be tiger striped. They're supposed to be like with the cheapest black paint on it that's mostly been worn down all the corners because this gun's been thrown in warthogs and fallen out of jeeps and Master Chief's landed on it and stuff, right? So what kind of gun skins are we gonna get? What kind of paint are we gonna get? What kind of new armors are we gonna get?
I think
Master
that's,
Chief.
that's the conversation that went on. They were like, well, we've got a finite amount of things we can do without destroying the name of Halo and Master Chief and stuff like that. Yeah. Then I think maybe they said, well, maybe we raise the price of Xbox Live Gold and then we get a little bit more money out of that and whatnot. Then we don't have to do all the shitty microtransaction stuff that people hate us for. Maybe we don't, and then we look like we're pro-consumer because we're Microsoft. You see, it goes full circle.
That would make sense, but
yeah. That was a theory that I had, and I was wondering if I was crazy.
You're not crazy.
I feel like with Halo, it's just their big problem is at the end of the day, and it's so frustrating that like they need to jump through all these hoops to try and make a business model that works. Because at the end of the day, all they need is one half decent exclusive that can stand up to Sony. But they're putting all of that into Halo, into Halo Infinite now, which. I mean, Halo as a series has already been soured for so many people, so...
Yeah.
And they're doing the Ubisoft thing, which is...
At what point do you just move on, you know?
Especially because they've taken a franchise like Halo, which has a very specific feel to it, and then gone, what are the other things that are popular? It's a Ubisoft move, right? They looked at The Witcher, said, this is basically a brand new game. It's far outperformed anything we've ever done. We'll copy it, leaving... the feel of our franchise and what our incredibly specific, dedicated audience love. And they've done that with Halo and gone, what are they going to love? Oh, they'll love bandit camps and not being able to render in the whole world and a battle royale, right? Because everybody loves Fortnite.
Everyone loves Fortnite, yeah.
Trying to please everyone.
Right, and they did it with Fallout 76. They added in all the fort building because people love fort building. So people that play a certain type of game love fort building. I freaking hated that.
Online games are the thing now, so we must make it online. So we don't know anything about online.
Also, so like one of the things that performs really well for the masses is like the Call of Duty style of things, right?
Yeah.
Halo started MLG.
Yeah, it's weird because they were the originators. They were the guys that set it up off the ground.
Because it was high skill cap. That was the thing. Because it was a long time to kill. You had this full shield and like quite a bit of health. You needed to really be...
Sorry, I'm plugging
plugging our merch because we haven't done enough plugs. Like,
course.
You needed to really be on. You needed to get 2 bursts with your BR on the head to get the guy's shield down. Like you had to really know what you were doing. You had to know the nade spots and stuff like that because you had to know it. You had to be sick with. You had to know where the power weapons were spawning. You had to be good with them because if you weren't, then you had to give them someone else on your team, and you're down a weapon, right? Like you had to know what you were doing, and that sparked MLG. And I'm not saying that there aren't high skill cap games on like CS:GO, Counter-Strike is still up there when it comes to Major League Gaming or professional gaming because it's very high skill based. Yeah. Does that mean that it's going to be the most popular game ever? Actually, I mean, you could make arguments for CS:GO having the longest life, but not like it's never going to put Fortnite numbers up there because little Timmy doesn't want that. Little Timmy wants to build a little fort and camp in a corner and get 1 or 2 kills a game.
And Big Ed doesn't understand what they're doing with the swapping their guns and throwing out knives and then swapping the gun back again. And I fucking don't understand
so like
CS:GO.
Halo has its thing, which is an incredible story and then high skill cap 6v6 gameplay.
Yeah,
that's its thing. That's what it does. If that's what I want, I go to that. You know.
So they can't recapture that and bring that back.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, but now, because it's such a big name now, they have to transform it into something it's not to appeal to the masses.
Yeah,
that sounds so pretentious, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
this is the thing. They have the I think what it is that, again, it's a bunch of suits. They're like, we have this Halo name, which still does mean something to this day. We must do something with it.
Yeah.
And they're just not ready to do anything with it. And they don't have any good ideas, but they're still trying to force it. And then they have this shit.
I mean, the thing is, like, Xbox never had that many titles, to be honest. Like, its big hitters were Fable, Elder Scrolls, Halo, Gears of War.
Yeah.
As far as, like, I'm pretty sure that's basically it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most average people, you say Gears of War, and they maybe know it, or they've maybe heard of it. You say like Fable, you say Fable, and maybe they've heard of it. They're like, oh, is that like Elder Scrolls? So people know. And by the way, a lot of people don't know that Skyrim is an Elder Scrolls game. They think they're different games.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, oh, is that like Skyrim? So people have heard of Skyrim
Like
and Halo.
Skyrim?
You know, so if people have heard of Skyrim and Halo, what else do they? Oh, and Forza. They do Forza.
Yeah.
But is Forza... I don't play racing games, but is Forza that much better or as good as Gran Turismo? I don't know.
It's one of those games that people really like when it comes out, and then it sort of gets forgotten. Granted, I'm not in the racing scene.
Yeah.
But I hear Gran Turismo more than I hear Forza. But that's just me.
Yeah.
But also, Gran Turismo doesn't come out as often as well.
Right.
That's another thing. If you don't mind, I would like to switch to the next topic because we have been talking for a fair amount of time.
All right.
We have got a fair amount of time right here. I'll give Walshie one chance to talk about whatever topic he wants now. Walshie, what do you want to talk about now?
Oh, fucking hell. Right.
Any topic
can't-
in the world. You just talk
What?
about, you say, I want to talk about, and go for it.
Well, I know what you want me to say.
I don't know what you're talking about, mate.
Alright, I'll say the thing. Assassin's Creed.
Way!
Alright.
Pay up.
That's
I had a
me
bet
done.
with Sheps that you'd say it at least once. So yeah, there we go. Fiver, got that
Fuck's
right there. I said that you'd say. I said that you would say, let's talk about Assassin's Creed, but there you go.
I feel like it should have come up naturally, but you
Trust me, there was enough Assassin's Creed talk at the beginning, and
That-
I was like, does that qualify? I'll wait a little
5
bit
minutes
more.
is not enough.
And he bloody did it anyway, but there you go. Instead, let me give you a topic to talk about. So,
Right.
Death Stranding.
Yeah, no.
That's never a good start to it.
Apparently,
It's an excellent start.
Death
I'm very
Stranding could
excited.
apparently be coming out with an extended edition.
Okay.
Coming
We
to-
need that game to be even longer.
We need it even more.
All the extended edition is, it adds 15% to the distances you have to walk. That's it.
Everything's
More
just stretched
rocks
out
need
just
to
a little
trip
bit
over.
more. Extended edition coming to the PS5 soon, apparently, says a new rumor.
Okay.
It will include graphical updates like 4K 60 FPS. It will
Ray
also
tracing?
include ray tracing.
Okay.
It will also include 3D audio and DualSense support. Tell me if that isn't the most scary motherfucking thing you ever heard in your life, and I do not want it.
I
Oh,
do
that's
feel
brilliant.
like
It's
Kojima
brilliant. God.
really shouldn't be allowed near that.
Yes, Kojima should not be allowed anywhere near 3D audio or any DualSense compatibility. We've seen what he did with PT, and that was on PS4 tech. Could you imagine PT on the PS5 with 3D audio?
Imagine if he really made PT
Nah, thanks.
like PS5 only PT, like the full game.
No, sir.
I'd
no,
be
sir.
afraid to turn my PlayStation on in
That'd be
case
sick.
like it's secretly uploaded something.
Joe, tell me we're not crazy here. This sounds like a nightmare, right?
Man, that is. I mean, I've not played Death Stranding, but
You should.
should I?
Yeah.
I like
no.
it. I like it
It's
a lot.
very relaxing, and if you want to listen
it's
to a
just
podcast like a
fit-
true
an-
gamer,
An
It's like
80-hour,
how's
Yeah.
to unwind, really?
an 80-hour
Right, it's a good way
Norman
to spend
Reedus,
time. True Gamer podcast, Eagles Call, Death Stranding. They're all
Exactly.
around the same.
Yeah, those
Maybe,
they're the same
as
level of
always,
quality.
I'll say, I
Podcast.
personally, there was a lot about Death Stranding I liked, and I never continued playing it.
Yeah, you did say that at the time, and I felt bad, but it's your
Yeah,
choice,
the-
isn't it? It's your thing.
In particular, there was one just really dead bit of dialogue that was, I was like, wow, this is it. Like, you can do it. But I actually found it
Yeah.
surprisingly fun and cathartic to just walk around, walking, carrying loads around places, to and from places, having to, like, if you slip
a
one
thing.
side and the BB and things like that. I did think it was good, but I also felt it was, and it might have been me not paying attention to tutorials and stuff, but I could not seem to work out. You have like grenades of like your pee that are made from like your
Yeah.
body fluids and stuff and your
Yeah.
blood, and I could not seem to figure out how those
Jizz,
worked.
wee,
Right,
or something, yeah.
I couldn't seem to figure out how those worked, when to use them appropriately, how the weapons work to fight the PTs. Is it PTs? BDs. BTs. I couldn't seem to work the combat out. And was I supposed to be afraid of combat or get into it? It was never really made very clear.
It was the P stuff I didn't figure out as well. Walshie, did you ever figure out what the P grenades were for?
Well, nah, my stance on Death Stranding is like, the story's dog shit, the combat's dog shit, but I just want to be a fucking UPS man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not so much fun.
The best thing about PT was when you're going for a shower or shit or something, there's an ad for Norman Reedus' show that was on Amazon, and I watched it. It's quite good. It's quite fun. So
I'm probably one of the people in here that did actually really love Death Stranding. I loved it because it was unique. It was something you never get from anywhere else. It was very different, yeah. You're never going to find this kind of game ever again.
It was our first Stranding genre. Yeah,
first Strand game. Did you guys hear about that, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
He goes that his game isn't actually... It's not like an RPG. It's not like a thing. It's a Strand game.
What award do you expect to win? The best Strand game,
At the Game Awards, it's like, and for the best Strand game... Kojima with Death Stranding. Come up here, guys. Well done.
It's actually Mortal Kombat 14.
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry about that. I really liked it because I think, as well as it being completely unique, it was a visionary's true vision.
He was allowed to just run and play.
He had carte blanche. He was just like, go make whatever the hell you want. And he made this. And while it was bat crap crazy, like insane. This guy was on shrooms, this guy was on horse tranquilizer. What is the good stuff that you have, Joe?
Huh? Oh yeah, bit of smack and also crack.
Bit of smack and crack mixed together in there. He was on all of the droogs.
Yeah,
all of the droogs. Yeah, and he just went and made this thing, and it blew my mind in so many ways, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe in the end it all made sense. But did it make sense? I don't know. I think it did. And then talking with other people, the conversation at the time was amazing. I loved it for those reasons, and it was what H-Bots would say, true cinema. True cinema and gaming form right there.
I think, and that's a good point, and we've said this for a while, let me know if you guys agree, that like the best form of entertainment these days is gaming. And don't get me wrong, films like Endgame, TV series like The Witcher and The Boys and stuff are brilliant. Yeah. But you're a passenger. Yes. And when you play a game, even a relatively linear one, you're the driver.
Yeah.
Right? It's you experiencing the world, you experiencing the story, rather than just being like the fly on the wall. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that's a really good way to experience a game. And the imagine spending 60 quid, you go to the cinema 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
On your own, right? Forget if you're taking someone. Whereas you spend 60 quid, I've put maybe 50 hours on Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I think that was worth it.
That is embarrassing, Sheps. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We won't have any smack talking about Cyberpunk in this.
The side quests are really good. And talking
don't say that. It makes the rest of the game sound shit.
Talking of Death Stranding, as far as I can tell, the best thing in Death Stranding, other than like walking around to that incredible music, is that there's a BB in Cyberpunk, which of course I found.
Yes, there was that Easter egg. That was really cool. Really cool.
I probably will go back and actually watch like all the cutscenes from Death Stranding, because I don't feel like I'm going to play it, even with this sick update. It's just not my thing. I'm
definitely going to play it again, but you should do that. Yeah. But the thing is that, again, just like when I was playing it, at some point you're just going to be like, what? Yeah. Am I missing something here? But then he's got like a what?
See, the thing is, if someone told me they didn't want to play The Last of Us Remastered or The Last of Us 1, right? They were just going to watch the cutscenes. I would say you're missing a lot of the game. You're missing a lot of the story, because so much happens in those little moments where, like, you, as Joel, find something and he goes, "Hey, that's one of those old things," and Joel's like, "You don't have to say it that way," or right? Or like he goes, "Hey, I remember this comic," or like. So much of their relationship develops in those moments where you're not in cutscenes that you would miss a lot. So there's no conversation with the BB,
Yeah.
So I probably will do that. I don't know.
Would you guys be playing Death Stranding if it comes to the PS5?
Absolutely.
Are you really?
I think Joe should, just to be. Again, it's one of those. The thing is, it's not a short game.
No,
it's not Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Let me take all of your time and not respect you. But it's shorter than that. It's shorter than that.
It feels like Death Stranding felt like it was long because
It wasn't fast paced as well.
It's not fast paced, but part of the world is that communication and roads and stuff have broken down, and so the travel is a huge part of the system that's as part of the world building.
It helps you feel like you are a disconnected society,
right. And you also start to experience like the rain and stuff like that. And I have no idea what the deal is, but it's part of the world. It's part of the thing. It was one of the things. Remember when we saw the first CG trailer, and he jumps the bike over that thing and has to hide from the rain, and a spot gets on his hand and it ages. Yeah, and you're like, what the hell's going on? Well, being in it, getting caught in it. Yeah. Is part of the world and the world building. So I feel like Death Stranding was a long game, even though I didn't finish it, because it fits. Yeah. And it seems, because I haven't played Valhalla, that Valhalla's just long because much like Gamepass, they just decided to add volume to it to pad it out so that you would think it was okay to pay that money for it. Yeah. And really what ended up happening is it's this enormous game that's not got the best quality, at least not everywhere, and it just doesn't respect your time. Yeah. That's the way it seems to me.
Would you agree on that? Would you disagree? Care to defend?
But yeah, it's like it's a game. Ubisoft's business model is every game needs to be a fucking behemoth, and it's they're not gonna make like some 10-15 hour concise game and think this is feasible, because the Ubisoft higher ups have such like misguided ideas on what games will and won't sell. Yeah. And so
quantity over quality, that's what it always is. Right. No, wait, the shit the wrong way.
Exactly. And the solution for Valhalla is Origins and Odyssey packed a bunch of side quests in there. So like you're constantly jutting in and out of the main story, and you're doing all this like repetitive side shit. And so Valhalla's idea is, instead of being a 40-hour game with like a 5-hour story, let's just make the story 60 hours and let's make 5 hours of it fucking relevant. You know,
right.
That's their business model, and I resent that.
Yeah, I would like for side quests to constantly push you toward the main quest ideas, right? So it doesn't funnel you back to the main quest, but you realizing that as you do it, you know, like for example, Cyberpunk, that as you do it like consistently, the big bad is Arasaka, and you need to deal with these guys. Mm-hmm. They're at the root of everything. They're the problem that all these people are facing. Right. Maybe not like this person has a beef with this gang, but maybe as you've gone through that mission, you're realizing the gang exists because Arasaka has left this power vacuum or something like that. Yeah. Ultimately, it's always pushing you to deal with this issue. I think that would be a way to do it. Talking of long games, though, because we're talking about like a remaster coming or an edition, Mass Effect Legacy
Collection, yeah.
Is anybody other than me like a 19 out of 10 excited for this?
I've never played Mass Effect.
Okay, so here's a question. So who else?
You, Joe?
Nah, not a big Mass Effect fan personally. Big fan of Andromeda.
Have you played them?
Best
Said no one ever.
Yeah, that's cool. So my question is to you, Walshie, because you haven't played them. Is there any bit of you that's kind of interested now that it's coming out functionally new, right? Instead of having to play a 17-year-old game, I think however old Mass Effect 1 is.
Yeah. 14, I think.
14, yeah.
There's no way of knowing. There's no way.
It's impossible to tell.
It's possible to find out.
Yeah. In fairness, it was off the top of my head. Like, relax.
No, I'm just thinking I could Google it, but it's impossible. Can't do that.
Instead of having to play this old, basically retro game, is there any bit of you that's interested because now it's new, and if there was ever a time to play it, getting them all in one go at, like, you know, a way that your brand new PS5 can really enjoy it. Is that anything you're interested in, or are you just like, nah, it's too big, it's not my thing?
Absolutely, because like the reason I haven't played Mass Effect isn't out of like, it's probably shit. It's because I was like a little kid when it came out, so I sort of missed the boat on it. But now, like, I know how like acclaimed it is from like not just critics but people who like people whose opinions I think are like, okay, if they like this game, then I probably will. So I'll definitely
like
check
me,
it out.
Like
exactly.
The high quality content creators.
High quality, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
I'm actually excited for it as well because of how highly you speak of it.
Yeah.
I haven't played any of the Mass Effect games. Actually, sorry, I did play. Is it 3? I think I played 3.
Yes,
the
you did tell
beginning
me.
part,
Yeah.
and I got stuck in a loop where I didn't have any ammo, and I was down a corridor, and I couldn't go back, and I was like, "Well, this is that's that. Then I'm going to put that down. Never play that again." I never went back to it. If I had an attachment to the franchise before, maybe I would have continued.
I'm trying to think what good sci-fi games there are out there, other than like maybe Dead Space.
Yeah.
I would say like this is probably the best sci-fi game really out there, because I don't think Doom counts.
Yeah, it's more like fantasy, I guess.
Yeah, and Cyberpunk is futuristic, but it's not.
No,
it's not sci-fi in like the space kind of way.
Yeah.
So I think if you dig spacey stuff, this will probably be the way to go.
If you dig space, go for it.
I think you'll enjoy it. I think you will.
One other thing to mention as well, except it's because they're going to put the DualSense controller support in Death Stranding, which we talked about before.
That's kind of terrifying.
It's going to be quite funny. I don't. All I can think of, obviously, they're going to do the you're walking along rocks and stuff like that. That's going to be the haptic triggers.
That's going to feel so weird.
It's going to feel so strange. But I wonder how much more stuff they're going to do, like. Maybe your heartbeat through the controller. Maybe
BB.
when the BB goes off or something like that, when it's kicking in the bottle, it'll be kicking you in the controller, whatever it might be.
Just shake the controller really hard.
Oh, so for you guys, like Walshie, you know that you have to rock the BB when he gets like crying. Gets angry. A normal person who isn't a psychopath, would gently rock the controller. Sheps is like the most efficient way possible. I need to do 14 shakes. Fucking
I shook the controller really hard, really
shaken
fast,
baby syndrome,
right? To try and get the shaking over and done with quickly, because the BB being upset doesn't help me further the game. It's good once to world build, but I wanted to get the baby soothed as soon as possible and get back into the game.
Yeah, it does get annoying.
So I shook it really fast, really hard, just like really shook the BB, and it turns out shaking babies isn't ideal for them.
So strange.
Who could have known?
Do you know what? We haven't spoken about that in a while, and now I'm thinking you should never hold Isla ever again.
That's fine. She doesn't cry.
That's true. She doesn't really cry that much. But if she was, I'd be like,
no.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
No, she just needs to be rocked really efficiently.
Oh god, guys. Okay. Should we move on to the next topic? Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Death Stranding? Anything like that?
I don't think so. Joe, what about you?
No. I was just wondering, because since you guys have all played it, do you think that an extended edition is like worthwhile? Like,
absolutely.
Is there a lot there that needs to be added? Because obviously
it's so strange, because I never thought at one point, you know what? They didn't really explore this.
This game didn't take long enough.
Right, yeah.
I never thought that, and now they're like, fuck it, we're adding another 5 hours, guys. Let's do it.
Imagine someone coming to you and saying The Last of Us 2 wasn't long enough. We're adding 5 additional hours of Abby.
Oh no! Don't do this to me.
I feel like that's kind of like what they would be doing here. There's not. I didn't get that far into it. I didn't start really peeling away the story.
Yeah.
But I did put probably a good 20 or so hours on it, or more, and didn't get that far into the story. So there's plenty there already. It's plenty long enough.
I don't know what they're going to possibly add. I am going to play this again, as I said. I did like it. So I'll get to tell. I'll report back to you, Joe. Don't worry about it. I'll report back to you. But I guess if you're going to play it as well, you'll see it. And maybe one day we can meet in the future and be like, okay, me and Joe played it. I played it before. We're going to talk about it now, and then we'll do a nice little review episode.
Those extra 17 hours of content really helped.
Really did help it, and it brought up to the level of Valhalla, which everyone aspires to try and be. Right there. The next topic. Perfect. This is going to sound weird, but bear with me. The new Tesla Model S has been revealed.
Okay.
Hold up.
Right.
We're now... we transported into a car show.
I see the connection here, because it's going to come standard with like an Xbox Series S in it.
Close. It's actually been fitted with its own brand 10 teraflop powered games console.
Okay.
And
the KFC console.
If only. Could you imagine how
Tesla,
out of place?
you pay like 100k for a Tesla, and it comes with 15% off at KFC for life.
Oh, Joe, that sounds great, right? That sounds great. You as a man who goes to the gym all the time, gym nut,
The idea,
basically, it comes with a games console built into the actual car. It's not a branded games console like a PlayStation or anything. It's their own thing, and it's running their own. They have something called Tesla Arcade, which is their own like game service.
Wait,
that they
there's
play on
Tesla exclusives.
Yes,
Fuck off.
yes.
Fuck
They
off.
do have a lot of their own like third-party games that we know and love and stuff like that. But they have their own ones as well that they're paid for. I'll read out a couple of the games that are available on there. They're mainly mobile games, to be honest.
Okay.
Because
Just Candy Crush.
basically they're Fallout Shelter, so
Or if you
mobile
want
game.
more interactive, it's just Pedestrian Crush.
Pedestrian Crush. Beach Buggy Racing 2. The first one was such a hit they needed a second one.
That's an old like arcade game, by the way. Yeah. Like
Okay.
From back in the 8-bit days, I'm pretty sure.
Stardew Valley, Cat Quest, Cuphead is on there, which is a decent one.
I've heard about that. That's brilliant.
Because the previous versions all had like shitty compute GPUs and stuff like that, so it couldn't handle anything more than a mobile game. This one does have something more powerful, so they've managed to get The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on there.
No way.
I'm gonna crash a Tesla.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
That's fucking immense, right?
Except what
That is
happens? What happens if the roach code gets wild and gets into your Tesla?
Oh no, you're ending up on a roof
You end
somewhere.
up with your Tesla twerking on the ceiling or something of your new house.
But how do you feel about that, Joe? How do you feel about Witcher 3 on your car?
I mean, apart from the thousands of pedestrians who are going to be run over because of this, that's pretty cool.
Right.
I mean, who cares about them as long as you get your gaming on, lads?
Good point. Like, if they were a true gamer, they'd be in their Tesla playing The Witcher, so
exactly
no harm done. They're basically ready for people.
I saw an article saying that Cyberpunk as well will be available to play, but
probably,
it's going to break your Tesla.
Road rage, yeah.
Bit of road rage there, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's actually incredible. They came up with the they go, here's the new model Tesla S, and then all the gamers immediately took the one photo from their website, which is like in bold, like the big screen in the middle, The Witcher 3 and all these other games below it, and I was like,
Wait a minute.
Hold on a second. And I read down, it's like, it also has a built-in 10 teraflop games. Okay, all right, this might be something,
I feel like, just in general,
Yeah.
if you wanted to play The Witcher, there are cheaper ways than just getting a Tesla.
Do you want to know how much the new model Tesla S costs?
Yes.
No, I don't.
132 grand. So it's a smidge above getting your own PC or maybe a PS5.
In fairness,
Still better than getting an Xbox, though.
It's still better than getting an Xbox.
It is. And
value
it's
for
cheaper
money.
than getting wheels on your iMac,
It's true.
right?
The iMac wheels, famously, the most expensive wheels ever known to man.
I guess that's cool, I suppose.
It was so mad. I mean,
Tesla's such a weird company, though.
the
Like,
strangest thing.
I'm actually, no joke, quite keen on that truck they revealed.
Yes.
Oh,
But is
yeah.
it real?
It is real. It is apparently coming in 21, I think.
Because I thought it was a joke. They were like, maybe
After
we
they
can
fix
get
the
our car in
windows.
Cyberpunk. Maybe we can get our car in
So
Cyberpunk.
I'm pretty sure there was a deal between, what's his chick's name? I forget. But she does some of the music in Cyberpunk.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm pretty sure, because when he revealed the Cybertruck, he tweeted CDPR saying a deal's a deal, and then it was announced that, is it Halsey? No, it's not Halsey. Who's whatever his
it's
chick's
a-
name is.
Grimes, that's it.
Grimes.
I thought you said James as well. I was going to say we both made the same joke.
Grimes, that's it. Yeah, because she's in it.
Right.
So I think there was some kind of deal. What's called a Cybertruck?
That's an expensive thing, though. It's just like...
But Elon Musk is like the richest man in the world.
Yeah,
He doesn't care. Also, like, no joke. I know we're kind of talking gaming, but in fact, I can lead it in. I'll work a quick segue in. Elon Musk is really determined to get to Mars,
Yes.
right? You can go to Mars, but you can only bring 3 games. Forever.
Oh,
3 games.
What you bring? Because you're on Mars, right? There's no trade in them in at CEX.
And the
If we went there,
internet
which we
connection's not
don't.
good enough for Stadia.
Right, it's a 36-minute round trip to Earth, so the server ping is going to be atrocious.
Awful.
Right?
It's like, what's 36 minutes in milliseconds? Because it always says in MS. It's just like off the screen right there. But go on, guys. While Ships is looking
That's
up how
tough.
much milliseconds that is, what 3 games would you take to Mars?
I mean, I guess in that case, since I'll have some time on my hands, I guess I can finally get around to playing Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. There you go.
Yeah,
the extended.
Yeah, sure.
36
No,
minutes, by the way, milliseconds. is 2.16, and then it stops using numbers.
It's like we have to use letters from now on.
2.16e plus 6.
Oh,
That's all it says.
Hell.
that's e to the power of 6. Oh, Jesus Christ!
It's
Mathematicians right now, they're like, woo!
it's going to be a lot of ping. It's going to be a lot of ping.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. So, what games would you pick, Walshie?
Right. Minecraft. That's obligatory.
That's it.
Right.
Of course.
I mean, you're on Mars, so you're building. It helps.
Okay, yeah,
you know
yeah.
exactly how to make a helmet. You
enough.
need to put the 4 squares in a in a shape
I mean,
like a
okay,
helmet.
yeah,
go on.
fair play.
5 iron, Eddie. It's not 4
my
squares.
apologies.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah. Right. Minecraft, Assassin's Creed 2, and then either Sonic Unleashed or Red Dead Redemption 2. Probably Red Dead 2.
I'm sorry.
Bigger.
I'm a big Sonic fan. And also, I played it before I was a sperm. So, you know, like, you were like barely a twinkle in your daddy's eye when I was playing Sonic.
Right.
But I feel like a game like that, and then a game like, let's say you mistakenly picked Red Dead up instead of God of War.
yeah. Let's say, for example.
How can you possibly compare Sonic with Red Dead?
Also, why would you pick Sonic over a far better game and a far better franchise, Pokemon?
Because there isn't.
Good point.
We're not
yes.
doing this.
Yes.
Pokemon is for kids.
we
Sonic
got on
is for adults.
huge debate
Oh, no.
online.
There's no
about-
debate.
It's not really a
It's not a
debate.
debate.
It's one
Okay.
person talking sense and then the other person just droning on
You're
about
educating
nonsense.
people as to why Pokemon is one of the best things ever made. Yeah.
Exactly, and Walshie believes that Sonic is somehow is better, more iconic than
Well, if it-
Pikachu and Pokemon.
Definitely not. I love Sonic, but no.
Have you
Yeah, I
played
love Sonic
Sonic
a lot.
Unleashed?
I've played Sonic Unleashed, yes.
It's a fantastic game, isn't it? You
It's a
agree on
great
that?
game.
It's
a
good
great
fun.
game. It's good fun. It's great
Yeah.
stuff. But nothing compared to Pokemon. Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue.
The OGs.
I mean,
They're
of-
all the same
just-
game.
God.
Here's the thing. No one is going to buy a game that's like Sonic Snap.
It's true.
No one's going to buy a Sonic
That's an
photo
exception.
mode game, right? But people will do that for Pokemon.
Pokemon Snap, a real
Spent-
thing coming
people
out
spent
30th April.
thousands on Pokemon
Are you
cards.
excited for that?
Hundreds of
I'm
thousands.
actually excited for Pokemon Snap. Have you guys heard of Pokemon Snap, by the way?
Oh,
Yeah, you were telling me about this last
Back on
time
the
I was on it.
N64, innit?
Was that, yeah, so it started
Yeah.
on the Nintendo 64 and it was
Yeah.
it was amazing. It could only come out on the Nintendo 64
Yeah.
back in those days because it was so weird and strange taking pictures of Pokemon.
Yeah.
But it's coming out again. There's like such big fanfare for it that Nintendo like, fuck it, let's just make a Nintendo
Yeah.
Snap. A Pokemon Snap. And it makes no sense. Like on the last podcast I was telling people how I described it to my girlfriend because
Yeah,
she
yeah,
likes
yeah.
Pokemon but never played Pokemon Snap. So it's like
Yeah.
you know how you like Pokemon, you train Pokemon, you do like battles and stuff like that. You fight gym leaders and you evolve your Pokemon. You go to the Elite Four. Yes, none of that
Yeah,
nonsense.
none of the stuff that you got into the franchise for.
No,
Yeah.
no, you just go around taking pictures of Pokemon. That's it. That's it right there.
The thing is, though, it's good.
It's good. It's so strange, but you couldn't do that with a Sonic franchise.
You have to just
Sonic wouldn't
No,
get it.
you just
listen,
have to let them
Sonic
play it.
has
Yes.
variety. Pokemon
Like
doesn't.
roll really
What-
fast
what?
or roll slightly less fast.
There's one where he's a werewolf. There's 2D ones. There's 3. There's one where you can make your own.
Except that when he's
persona
running really
in a
quick, he's
game.
just a ball, right?
I just want you guys to know the people in the video version can see this. You guys can't, but my skirt is firmly down and is not being blown up at all by anything you're saying.
Yeah, it's true. If you were trying to get laid, Sonic versus Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap's going to get you there.
It's like, hey baby, do you want to see my gym badges over here?
That's right. Let me show you my Onyx,
My hard on.
my Nidoking. Yeah.
Exactly. My Metapod just used Harden. Oh, it failed.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
Anyway, now that we've officially schooled them on that,
Yes.
we've sorted that out there.
To you guys, real question before we get into this, because I'm genuinely curious. Pokemon, I want to know like your experience with it.
Oh, it's
I don't care what you have to say. Like, I just want to know your real experience with it. Don't do a bit. I'm just curious.
no, yeah, it's my entire childhood.
Cool.
I had fucking cases upon cases of Pokemon cards built
Yeah.
up. Pokemon Platinum, completely maxed out the Pokedex like four
Good stuff.
different times.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Got
My heart is
emulators.
warmer now.
Got emulators for Red and Emerald on my PC. It's
Yes.
beautiful.
That's what we like to hear, Joe.
See, Joe, fine, upstanding gentleman of the community right here, speaking sense. And Walshie, give your opinion.
And then there's
well, I was busy playing games for adults like Assassin's Creed and Sonic.
Yeah, we're gonna kill
but
right now.
I have some experience with Pokemon. Like, I've played some on like my cousin's DS. I think I like rented one from Blockbuster when I was like tiny once. But then I played Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu in 2019, I think.
Yeah.
And it's not for me. It's not got the thrill of a good Sonic game.
There is nothing more that puts your blood pressure through the roof than having your favourite Pokemon being poisoned.
Yeah.
Also, if you're playing a Nuzlocke, that makes it so much worse. And trying to figure out, are you going to actually be able to make it to the Poke Center?
Yeah.
Like, you go, oh God. Like, do I not move? No, I have to get to the Poke Center.
Even though it was on that crappy screen with like 4 blocks and whatnot.
It was 4 blocks, and it was supposed to be in color, but it did grey yellow, grey red, and grey green or something else.
In your mind, it was you sheltering your Pikachu from the
your
gale
Charmander's
winds.
fire.
You're like, no, hold on, I'm taking you to the Poke Center. Nurse Joy, where are you?
I will say, especially this is for you, Joe, if you're into Pokemon anymore these days.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a Nuzlocke?
And is that when you just stay up for like 36 hours and
No.
Slightly different.
Slightly different.
Okay.
I mean, I think you should set for 36 hours and play Pokemon. That's definitely good advice.
Recommended by many
A
doctors.
Nuzlocke challenge is where you can there are a lot of rules to it. I think some of them are silly, but you basically consider it to be life or death dogfighting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the basic gist.
That's the most brutal way to say it, by the way. That makes it sound bad.
Pokemon.
That makes it sound bad.
It's basically
Oh,
Pokemon.
it's a good time.
The idea is that you're only supposed to be allowed to capture a certain number of Pokemon, right? So you kind of bare bonesing it. So one of the rules, which I say you can get a bit of leeway here, is like you're only allowed to catch the first Pokemon you encounter in any new region.
Yeah.
That's one of the things.
You're on Route 10. You can only catch the first Pokemon that you
Right.
get in there, and that's your Pokemon.
That's your Pokemon.
Right.
But the big thing is that you treat your Pokemon fainting as if they died. So you don't revive them at the Poke Center, you release them. And it
so you don't have to go through the whole game just with 6. You can release them.
you release that Pokemon. You can never use it again. But the key is that you can't just catch every Pokemon you see. You can only catch every Pokemon when you get to
the
Route 10.
first Pokemon you see in the brand new area.
All you
That's
can
all
catch.
catch.
And if it faints, you don't get to catch the next one. Functionally you killed that Pokemon. You didn't capture it. Right. That's how you have to treat it. And by the end of it, whatever team you have, if you got anything like if your starters made it all the way, you have such a deep bond with this thing because when it came through for you and survived on 1 HP, like it survived, it just survived. It gave it everything and survived. Like you've been through so much.
His teeth right there.
It changes the game, man. It's so good. I highly recommend it.
And imagine you have like a Charmander that you've got all the way up to Charizard, and you're going, I'm ready for the Elite Four, and then you get knocked out at number 3, and you're like,
my Charizard's dead.
My Charizard is dead.
Yeah, that's the thing. Then you go into like 5 days of mourning over it. So
yes,
exactly.
It's great.
And it's freaking brilliant. It's freaking brilliant.
Well, that's the fun part. That's the fun part, right?
Exactly.
Right.
The fun part, you're just like moping around your house. Your mum's just like, was everything all right there, Joe?
Whipping back like I should have known it was a water type. I'm sorry, I let you down, Charizard.
You're just like punishing yourself.
Never again.
What the fuck
I'm giving up dueling forever. Yeah, it's a really fun challenge and a fun take to bring like a childish game up to like a few real stakes. I thought it was a good fun thing to do.
Right.
So,
I was thinking of a sleep lock. I just looked it up, which is you do that, but you have to complete the entire game in one sitting.
Ooh,
that actually sounds way worse.
That does sound worse. Because that's just like, all right, punish yourself.
Yeah.
Just keep going, keep going. I mean, who are you, James, doing fucking streams for like 48 hours straight?
He's got problems.
Yeah, he does.
He's got problems.
But also he has streaming problems, you know. But
yes,
the other problems are something else.
And the erectile dysfunction.
Erectile dysfunction, that's right.
I gave him my pills, but then now I don't have my pills. So
now you've got the erectile dysfunction.
You don't need them, that's
Jesus
fine.
Christ.
There was another topic which I completely interrupted. What was that?
Was I just starting into another topic?
I think
Let's
you
just
were.
say I was. So the next topic, just after we got done recording here, was the Resident Evil Village.
Oh yeah.
Stream that they did where they showed off Resident Evil gameplay, and awesomely, the best thing that I think game developers can do and publishers can do, they released a demo as well for the game.
Check under your seats.
Yeah, look under your seats. There's one right there.
Which we've been saying that for like 2 or 3 years. We've been saying, if you're going to talk about something and release a demo, that's how you do it, and you can play it now. Like,
yes. I mean, we couldn't. To be fair, PlayStation Network went down.
Yes.
Because of all the requests and shit people went in there. So it was the next day that we got to play it. But we got to play it. Did you guys watch the reveal event? Have you seen much about RE Village? What was your feelings?
Well, I've just seen the big woman that everyone's talking about, and I don't fucking get
milky
it.
mummy.
Try to get your
Try
to get your hand out your pants. There, this is a children's show right here.
Also, the only thing that it can be more terrifying than her is the edit of her with my face on it. That is nightmare fuel.
Oh, no.
Who was that? Was that Batfan that did that?
I think it was, yeah.
Someone, I think it's Batfan, I think it is. He's decided that everything that comes up, every GIF that he finds, is going to put either mine or your face on it. And yours was nightmare fuel. It
was one of the most atrocious things. Also because that one fits really perfectly. So the first time I saw it, I was like, something's up about it. This is haunting.
Yes.
And I was like...
It might have been D, by the way.
It may have been D. Yeah. I think it was Josh. But I was looking at it like, that isn't right. What's wrong? Oh my God, it's my face.
It's my face.
Oh, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. I hate and love our Discord both at the same time, you know?
It was really especially bad for me because I was obviously masturbating furiously to the big woman gifs and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I saw your one.
And that just made you bust.
It stopped me for a moment, but then I carried on going, and it got me to completion. So that was something right there.
Right.
Right there. But actually, do you know what? More than the big lady chick, I wanted to step on me so bad. She's that hot. But what's even hotter is the normal sized vampire chicks with the blood coming down their faces.
Right.
Because the blood coming down their chins either means that they suck you so hard that they rip off your knob.
Yeah, there's no downside to that.
And that's probably going to be the best head you've ever had up until the moment you die.
Right, yeah.
Or they're biting you. And
Either way.
I'm willing to take the shot for the best head you've ever had.
Counter thing to make it even better.
Go on.
If that is how they get the blood, but they have to... Whoops, sorry guys, sorry about your ears. Just punch the microphone there. If they do have the blood all down their mouth, that means they've already eaten. So this head is just pro bono.
Ooh.
It's all for the fun of it. Right?
Guys, you can't see what's going on this desk, but...
It just raised a good 1.8 inches.
A good 1.8 inches, the optimal size right there. I really enjoyed the event. I think it was really cool. I played the demo on stream, and I played with my girlfriend. And
I didn't watch.
Bloody scary. You shouldn't watch. It's but I've committed myself to the lads now to play the game when it comes out on stream.
Stupid.
But you know what was even worse? When I was playing it on the stream, I plugged in my headphones and I had good audio, it was like left and right and whatnot, but it wasn't the 3D audio
because it's the demo.
Exactly, and I was running it through the PC and the audio through there.
Right.
But then I turned on afterwards and I plugged the headphone jack right into the controller and the 3D audio was on.
Okay. No, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about it.
This is the first time that I've properly heard the 3D audio in a horror scenario and whatnot. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I'm telling you, this should not be in the hands of people that make horror games.
PT is going to come out. Kojima's going to leverage Death Stranding to make PT, and it's going to have all of that. I'm talking DS5, I'm talking 3D audio.
Not good.
You're gonna piss your pants.
Yeah, it's not good. Not looking forward to that.
Are either of you two into like Resident Evil, scary gamey type stuff?
Fucking love Resi 7.
I like 4 a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't played it yet, but I'm gonna. And you tell me about it. Tell me all about it.
Now, Resi 7's just fucking. It goes so against what the Resident Evil series was, but it's just
That's something I've
Let
noticed
the
as
past
well.
die.
At the beginning, it was like, cool, there's a T-virus. I mean, I watched the movie as well, classic movie, Colin Salmon and
The
whatnot with the
best.
getting diced by the lasers. Great thing.
I freaking love that scene. I don't care what anyone has to say. There's a lot of really bad things about those movies, and especially the way that franchise progressed. But Mila Jovovich, guy getting diced by lasers.
Yeah, Michelle. Is it Michelle Rodriguez?
Who plays?
She's in Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's also in the first one as well.
Is
Side
she?
character. She gets bitten at one point.
Okay.
Yeah. But the whole franchise, even the games and the movies, they seem to have they were like, okay, we're about viruses. We're gonna make a zombie thing going on here. Cool. That's our thing. And then at some point in the franchise, in both the game and the movies, they're like, hard left turn. Hard left turn. We're going down vampire lane now. We're going down monster lane. Nothing makes sense. I don't know what it is, but we're going to make a spectacle on the way.
I feel like they should have just said, you know us for making Resident Evil. We love the horror genre.
Yeah.
We're going to take it a slightly different direction. We may even include the characters that you know.
Yeah.
But we'll figure out some way, but it's not Resident Evil. It's like vampire stuff. Because the T-Virus, Umbrella Corp, I only know Resident Evil from way back in the day, and I didn't love. It was okay. I didn't love it. Is it 3 that I played where you have to run down a hall, but the cameras are all the wrong way, and the place you need to come?
I think it was Resident Evil 3 right, until they remade it.
I hated that.
I don't understand it. I'm looking at it and I'm like, why is the camera like a CCTV? I don't.
That was also my problem with old not Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid. I played one of those, and just the camera was so poor, I couldn't figure out what was going. So I never got into Resident Evil. I never got into Metal Gear Solid because of weird stuff like that. Anyway, Umbrella Corp, T-Virus, zombie stuff, really important to Resident Evil. It's kind of the big thing, and they Fast and Furioused it.
Yes, at least they're going with it like Fast and Furious.
And it looks like they've really taken it up a notch. It's going from strength to strength, unlike Fast and Furious.
Hey, wait, I'll never family. I'll never have any of that. Sorry,
it's
Ed. Sorry,
Sorry.
You might have missed that. Sometimes people mistake me for Vin Diesel.
Happens all the time.
I look like him as well. So
especially with the thick head of hair and the beard.
It's like you, how they mistake you for Tyrese.
It does happen a lot, actually. It's quite annoying.
Hey, Tyrese. Oh, it's just a normal guy. Okay.
I mean, I can still do your autograph if you want. No, okay, never mind.
I don't want a guy that looks like Tyrese. I want Tyrese.
Right.
Understand. We're never gonna let that joke die.
Resident
Evil. How do you guys like it?
Yeah, no, I just think the way they rebooted it way better than the original games. I think were just meh. But yeah, no, the 7 was ridiculous, and 8 has just got me even more. It seems like they're just gonna keep going up and up. So
I find that the people who like Resident Evil, there's 2 camps. There's the newer ones, which are the newer people like me and you and whatnot. We're playing them because we're more modern games. And then there's the hardcore fans that I guess they grew up on those ones, and that's why they have that nostalgia bond with it, right? There was a certain number of people who were hoping this event would not only show gameplay of Resident Evil Village, but also have a Resident Evil 4 remake announcement, but then it didn't come. And I saw a lot of people upset with that. And I was like, is that really something you want when we've got this brand new game coming?
It may still come in the works. We do tend towards liking new stuff, although again, as Final Fantasy VII Remake came out recently, I have been forced to educate a lot of people that the best Final Fantasy is, of course, FF9.
Of course.
But that I understand the nostalgia thing, right?
Yeah.
But you and I, maybe a year or two ago, went and played GoldenEye at a bar that we were looking at to do an event.
Yes. Gaming bar.
Yeah. And we played GoldenEye on the N64, and it is not what was in my head. It's not what it was in my head at all.
Different.
Don't get me wrong, it's fun because we got the story out of it, and it's good that it reinforced that typically good new stuff is way better than the great old stuff. But man, I kind of wish we hadn't played it.
Just to preserve that image of what it was in our mind, right?
Right, because I mean, the graphics, way worse than with the Minecraft. I'd say it looks similar to Minecraft. It was way worse. Way worse.
Was that was that the proper GoldenEye remake that they made, where they just turned it into Call of Duty?
No, we played it on a Nintendo 64.
The original GoldenEye.
So,
okay.
we was like, yes, let's play this great.
Yeah.
Nah,
because I remember getting the remake on Xbox 360, and it was so far off. Like I think my dad got it for me when I was like fucking 12 or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, this when I was a kid, GoldenEye was fantastic. You'll love it." I turned it on, and it was like a really bad rendition of Daniel Craig. He looked like a Gmod. He looked like a Gmod character, like fucking abseiling down a cliff. It was like, what is this?
There are other things that I noticed having grown up, and we put a lot of time on multiplayer, like Call of Duty type stuff.
Yeah.
The map design was atrocious. Mm-hmm. Because it wasn't that big a deal. It wasn't until games like Quake came out when you were doing like proper LAN parties and internet gaming and stuff, which would have been like maybe 5 years after GoldenEye, that map design really mattered, because like you would be in the same room with the person you were playing.
The only thing that needed to happen was that it needed to be, because it was all pixelated and very low resolution and whatnot, it needed to just be a different color so you could differentiate what room you was in. Oh, he's in that room. Right. And then you kind of knew where to go.
Oh, he's at the red room, that kind of thing.
Exactly, like the silo-y area, because I know it's a darker grey and whatnot, whereas that was the only thing you needed to know.
I did also notice a couple of things. We were playing on, what was the map called? Temple or something like that. It was like, it looked like it was made out of sandstone. It was a yellowish map, and I did notice that you would get to an end of a hall and it wouldn't be obvious if there was a turn anywhere
because there's no shadowing or anything.
There was no shadowing, and I'm like, you forget how much like a bit of shadow somewhere lets your brain know, oh, there's a turn here.
Yeah,
it was interesting, because in my mind that thing has the graphics of like Call of Duty today, or Halo or something like that, right? In my mind, the golden gun, which is what we picked, was the golden gun. It was one of those Lugers, like out of Indiana Jones, right? But it was gold, and it was not that at all. Not just that like at all.
A yellow crayon packet with a crayon sticking out. Yeah. That's what it looked like.
It was awful. I'm glad in a weird way, I'm glad we did it, because it reinforced that, like, we've made the right call to move on with gaming.
Yeah. Well, if you wanted something that could be eternal and forever, Resident Evil Village has come up with a couple of different versions that you can buy, and I'm sure Joe would be very interested in this collector's edition that's coming out. So they came out with a couple of versions. Obviously, they did the classic thing, like the standard version, special edition, collector's edition. There's a collector's edition plus that's only available in Japan.
Sick. Oh. Does it have like used anime knickers and stuff?
It's actually got the lady...
tentacle monster that she was with. It comes with the game.
God, it's the Lady Demistress, her underwear, her used underwear. No. What it comes with is a...
Can you put a picture in the Discord so we can see
I'll drop a picture for you guys. In fact, let me just give you guys the link here, and you guys can see exactly what it is. So before I hit enter, I'm not going to hit enter just yet. I can read out some of the stuff. Okay. It comes with the game.
That's good.
It's good for, it's not
it's
like
good start. Good starting strong. Yeah.
There's a poster of the game world, a trauma pack, which is just like a box, and it's like got some nice decals and stuff like that. It looks quite nice. A steel book, a figurine of Chris Redfield.
Okay.
And it comes with a buttonless Chester coat of Chris Redfield, the coat that he wears in the game.
Right.
Do you want to give her just a... Because, you need a coat, right?
Oh, God. This is going to be pricey, isn't it?
How much would you think this collector's edition should cost? Give a couple numbers out there.
What was the Ellie edition?
What's the coat made of?
The coat, it's not actually anything special. It's not like made out of like virgin's hair or anything like that. It's not made out of a special breed of cow or anything like that. It's just a normal. And I'll send you it just in a second. But give me some random numbers. It's nothing special, honestly.
So $250.
$250 says Walshie. What's that, Joe?
$2.99. Yeah.
$2.99.
So I just looked up the Last of Us 2, like the early edition.
Yeah.
On eBay, it's going for like a hair. Some of them are like $250, $370, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised to find this is super expensive.
Go on.
$475.
$475. Yeah. Just for clarifications, I did a video of my unboxing of the Cyberpunk Collector's Edition. That was $250, and there was a lot of good stuff in there for me. I'll send you guys the link now.
Okay.
$1,800.
What is this coat made of?
$1,800.
It's just a grey coat. It's just a normal grey coat. You can get it fucking...
In fairness, that is a very nice box.
It's a very nice box. It's $1,700 worth of box.
I mean, if you get the right lady... Could be.
Yeah,
maybe
if the figure was of the maiden, then it justify it.
Yeah,
but.
Maybe, right?
Well, if it was one of those like, see, this is the thing. One of the things I was hoping we would naturally lead into. Boys, do either of you watch any anime? I'm not going to go much further than that. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
More than like Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon.
Watched Fullmetal Alchemist and Brotherhood back in the day, but other than that, now.
Okay, cool.
I'll watch a bit.
So,
Weeb.
right, we started this show because I'm a big weeb, and I wanted to show you some anime, and I was naturally hoping that watching enough anime would lead into some of the weird stuff, because Japan is so strange, so strange. But like, there's no way to naturally bring up like vending machines with used knickers in them, right?
Yeah, there's a leap that you just need to gradually get to.
Right, and I think like
Right.
if we had known enough anime stuff that we could have, like, there are figurines. Figurines are a big deal. Like, you've got plenty of them back here, but a lot of anime shows do the fan service stuff, which I hate, and I really made the point that we wouldn't have fan service, or we would avoid it in the Anime Club animes.
Yeah.
But a lot of these figurines are dressable.
Dressable.
Oh,
So you can change what they're wearing down to
is-
like the underwear and stuff that they're wearing. You can change their bikinis.
Where's this
and
going?
and stuff.
no.
Well, like if it was one of those for the mistress,
Then it would be okay.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
But I want her to scale.
Life size, yeah, life size.
You want like an
8-foot dressable goth milky mummy vampire. Yeah.
Oh god, that's
Where is the details about this coat? I want to know. Like, is this made of like what's the fanciest wool? What are they, cashmere wool from goats in the mountains of like
Yeah.
frickin' Nepal or something?
It's just
I
a
looked-
coat, isn't it?
It's just a
It's
H&M
just
coat.
the coat, mate. Honestly, I looked on. So I saw this on Reddit, and I had a look at the people there. And there's obviously detectives on Reddit, and they all decided to go look up what it was made of. And they were like, you can go to like Banana Republic, the places that are like expensive, and get like a $300 coat, and it's much better quality than what this is.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, and you don't have to pay $1,800.
I was thinking like 475. You're gonna think I'm crazy. A little bit of me was like, say 850, say 850, but I'm like, nah, there's no way.
That's
no
wild.
way.
You weren't ready for it. You
Has-
weren't ready for it.
In
Has there
fairness,
ever
this-
been a collector's edition at that? I can't
What
think
is
of
the
any.
most
that have been-
expensive?
Wasn't there a
collector's
Saints
edition.
Row one that was like 250 grand, but you got like fucking.
You got a literal
California
get out
holiday
of
or
prison
some shit?
free card.
Let me have a
Yeah,
look.
it's
Saints
something like that.
Row. Saints Row.
I feel like this should be an episode of like a standalone where we just compare the most expensive.
crazy collector's
Yeah.
editions and stuff. Oh, here we go. Ludicrous $1 million Saints Row 4 special edition includes.
Just to be clear, that makes this Resident Evil thing a steal at 1800.
It does. You know what? You got a bargain here, lads. You got
Right.
a bargain here, lads.
What does
the
this Saints Row thing include?
It includes a special edition. Hold on a second. It includes special edition
24 karat gold CD.
Lamborghini
What the fuck?
plastic surgery and a trip to space. What the hell are they? What? What do they think us
What
gamers
does that
want
have to
from
do
this
with
game?
the game?
I mean, they're not
They've
wrong.
just put a bunch of shit in there. Does it have a
see this
$70
frickin'
code?
Lamborghini.
Worse.
I'm gonna pop it in the chat for you guys so you guys can all see this. That's the article I got from The Verge. It hasn't got a picture of the Lamborghini
See,
yet.
all
though.
that
Hold
happened
on.
because I just put up Saints Row Lamborghini edition
Yeah.
and hit images, and all I get is a load of purple Lamborghinis. But people get Lamborghinis in weird colours,
Yeah.
because they're Lamborghinis.
Well, here we go. So it says in the description, it's going Saints Row the 4th, the Commander in Chief edition. It comes with a full-sized replica dubstep gun. That's actually quite cool. That one,
Okay,
though.
not for $1 million though. I feel like I could probably get or make one myself at home for a little
Exactly.
bit less.
A full day of spy training. 'Cause
Right?
does
Sure.
MI6 just come round and be like, right, we're going to train you to be a spy?
You definitely can't learn half of that stuff on YouTube.
Right, no, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
A trip with Virgin Galactic 1 year's membership of E25 Supercar Club and Lamborghini Gallardo to make it worthwhile.
Gallardo.
Okay.
Whatever.
A trip to space.
A trip to space. Plastic surgery for the purchaser's choice. Would you imagine if it's just like you get the plastic surgery, you could get anything you want.
Right,
you get your
right.
tits done, you get your knob done, whatever you
I
want.
would love to
something
get
like
my
that.
tits done.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I had this little like mole just here. Can you just
Right.
remove that little mole off of my chin just there? Nothing even like that. You sure? That's like
Like, we'll do-
$1,000 expense right here. You could install titties on yourself if you want to.
Think cyberpunk. Like,
Yes.
you could, yeah.
You could be the goth milk mummy chick from Resident Evil 8.
You could become 8 foot tall. Yeah.
And he goes, shopping spree, a personal shopper, ultimate plan, 7 nights in a Jefferson Hotel in Washington, hostage rescue experience, and a brand new Toyota. Hold on a sec. They're giving you a Lamborghini Gallardo, and
No,
you're
they're
getting
not giving you a Lamborghini Gallardo.
Oh, it's for the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but they give you a
And then
Toyota
they
Prius. Obvious.
I'll pay you the $1 million not to give me a Toyota Prius.
Yes, please. Can I instead have the Tesla Model S, please?
Do you remember the other day we saw a guy who had his Prius and it had a body kit on to make it?
What was that shit about? Honestly,
I feel like
God.
this is probably a better topic for like the Combos podcast. But basically, we drove around an area of yours where there's like a lot of mechanics on the same road, basically. Something like that. And we saw one of these Priuses on the side, and I was like, that Prius looks weird. And then we drive past, and it's got this like, it's supposed to make it look badass, but it's still a Prius.
Yeah,
It's just
not
the
great.
weirdest. Oh God,
Yeah.
what's wrong with people?
And 7 nights stay at the Burj Al Arab.
I feel like I could do all of these individually for way less than $1 million.
Yeah, I feel like $1 million's pushing it a little bit. They're making
Yeah.
a hefty bit of profit on
Little
top of
bit.
that.
Did anyone actually buy this?
I just looked at that. I don't think so.
Oh,
I would. But the thing is, if you have like fuck you money, that's kind of a flex, you know? Yeah, I bought $1 million edition of Saints Row.
Boys,
Microsoft.
get to the Patreon.
yeah, please. If you guys could subscribe over at patreon.com/conversation, that'd be great.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
Microsoft send their entire dev team for Halo Infinite on this thing because that hasn't used up enough money yet.
I was going to say, I don't think they have. Do they have 500 employees? That's how much they spent, right?
I
500
guess,
million.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy shit right there. Crazy stuff. What was we talking about? Yeah, the Resident Evil Collector's Edition. That was something.
It's
right
pricey,
there.
but suddenly seems quite reasonable.
Reasonable, absolutely reasonable. The next topic.
Not bad.
The Uncharted movie has been delayed again to 2022.
This
February
film isn't being
2022.
Cancel
made.
it.
I feel like
It seems that way, right?
I feel like that. Okay, let me rephrase this as a genuine question. Do you care anywhere near as much about movie delays as you do about game delays?
Not really. I mean, don't get me wrong. It feels worse now because we haven't had any movies in like forever.
Yeah.
Forever. The one that hurt me the most was the James Bond one.
Yeah.
James Bond being delayed to like 2022 November. I was like, oh come on.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It was set to be a really good movie. The last
Anna
Daniel
de
Craig
Armas is in there.
movie,
Oh, God.
Anna de Armas, and bringing in a new James Bond or something, right?
Yeah.
Set to be big, yeah.
I think
That one hurt.
I think I probably care more about movies because with games, like, if a game's getting delayed, hopefully, unlike CD Projekt Red, they'll fix bugs and stuff.
Comes out
But, like,
better, yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna fall through the world whilst watching Tom Holland pretend to be Nathan Drake. So
True, yeah.
it's like I feel like movie studios kind of have less of an excuse. But
I guess.
With movies as well, there's less moving parts in it. It's just like
Yeah.
the movie.
Well, see, that's the thing I don't agree. I think with game developing, there's less moving parts because I'm not a game dev, but you need a computer. If you can have a computer at home, everybody can individually do their bit at home, right? So I feel like that can get made. But with movies, you've got to get the entire crew on location, all the insurance, actors together, costume, makeup, all that
I think
stuff.
it's easier for things to
together
go
and
wrong
working.
with games, though. I think that's
Maybe.
I think because it's just like interactive. I think that's the part that
Yeah,
really gets
I
really
suppose.
difficult.
I say as well, like, in defense of the movies, going to the cinema, especially now, is like a big event. It's something you're going to look forward to doing. Whereas gaming, doesn't matter what your day's been like, it's at home waiting for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like your faithful dog, right?
Lovely.
Which is great, but
Until it dies.
wow.
Like the Assassin's Creed franchise.
Wow. Assassin's Creed is a good franchise.
you
sold lots of copies. It was really good, guys. 'Cause it sold lots and lots of
It sold
games.
lots, so that's proof that it's good.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Are you guys actually excited for the Uncharted movie, though?
Kinda.
I mean,
Maybe.
I'll be interested to see it, but the problem is that when has a video game ever made a transition to something and
What
been
if
good?
this is it?
Assassin's Creed, the Assassin's Creed movies.
Yeah.
other than potentially the best movie ever made. Yeah. Fassbender's great. That's the other problem, because I was going to say we've got like the cast is stacked to make a good performance and stuff, but then again you had Fassbender in the Assassin's Creed movie. We know for a fact that just having a great cast isn't enough to make a movie good. It's like incredible actors can be directed atrociously and say terrible scripts, and it's still a terrible movie, and their performance is terrible. So, on the other hand,
Batman v Superman.
I mean, that's probably an example of how everything can hit the nail on the head.
Exactly. Now let's think of something terrible.
Right. So, but the thing with Assassin's Creed, Uncharted, is the groundwork's already been laid. We have 3 Indiana Jones movies. We know exactly how not to do it because there are 2 really terrible Lara Croft movies.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we know what works, what doesn't. They have 4 games to base it on. With a well-loved character. Like, you don't have to introduce Indiana Jones. We know Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody loves Tom Holland. He's hot at the moment and stuff. Well, he's hot all day.
He's always hot.
Yeah.
Have you seen him take his shirt off? Jesus Christ.
No idea, actually, but I bet he's in good shape for this.
He's in good shape, lad.
So, and weirdly, I'm attached to the Assassin's Creed franchise, although not Assassin's Creed.
Don't say that. People are gonna
Say no more.
Oh my God! Now,
God damn it! I've
you've
opened
brought
the
down the
floodgates.
credibility of
So
everything
now.
we've said in this podcast.
I have a really warm spot in my heart for Uncharted, and I've never played any of them.
Damn.
Yeah, I've never played them because I was a Lara Croft guy back in the day, and I was like, this is just trying to like be Indiana Jones and beat out Lara Croft. Like, frick this, Lara's my girl. You know, the premium woman with the triangle tip.
The triangle one. That's the
Yeah,
one.
that's real Lara Croft. That is peak femininity. You might not like it,
You might-
but that's what it looks like.
Girls, why don't you look like this?
Yeah.
What's stopping you from looking like this?
Right.
Fair enough.
In keeping with the movie, video game stuff, 2 more things I want to announce. One, I fucking hate I'm gonna have to say this, but here we go.
Okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is starting to shoot in March.
Hey,
Did you
fantastic
see that?
news.
I actually didn't see the Sonic movie.
I saw it. It was actually alright.
I'm gonna probably find it somewhere and watch it.
Jim Carrey's fantastic. Great stuff. Right
Yeah.
there. It was good. And also, we had to watch it because the internet as a collective really dogged on them when they did the first design of Sonic. We were like, no, change it. And then they did, and it's kind of like, well, you did it now. I have to do it now. You know?
I meant to, but just never got round to it.
It's one of them movies,
And
isn't
I
it?
support the fact that the second one's happening simply because they pulled an original Witcher 3 CDPR
Yes.
where they were really genuinely worried about what their consumer base had to say.
Yeah.
Now,
Original CDPR.
Watch this one be Cyberpunk 2077. They go back to the original
no.
design.
No,
Yeah.
we want. Do you know what? We actually vibe more with the previous one,
Yeah.
even though you love this one. We're gonna go back. How do you feel about that, Walshie? You very excited?
Listen, I'm not a Sonic fanatic. I like I've not seen the film.
Stop lying.
Okay, well,
It's
I might be a
embarrassing.
bit, but I've not seen the film because I just thought it looked a bit shit. So
It's actually all right, honestly. I mean, we're obviously big Jim Carrey fans. I don't know if you guys are as well, but
Absolutely.
he really pulls his own in that movie.
It's Jim Carrey.
Exactly, and
How'd it go wrong?
I
they
kind
do
of,
some good comedy.
I got the impression that he would just phone it in. That's why. But
yeah, I don't think he's a very well cast Dr. Robotnik. I wouldn't cast Jim Carrey.
Maybe,
as-
Not if you
as
wanted to
Eggman.
be true to the like cartoon / games.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I would do because I feel it just pissed me off a bit because I like Sonic too much.
Sonic
See, this is what happens when you like terrible franchises like Sonic.
You need Chris Farley for Dr. Robotnik.
Oh,
I mean, despite being dead. An alive Chris Farley.
I was going to say pull him out of the ground.
Yeah.
There you go. And the other movie / video game topic is Kevin Hart
Oh God,
yeah.
I heard about this.
has been cast to play
no.
has been cast to play Roland in the upcoming Borderlands game. That's Borderlands movie of the game that's coming up. This is strange because I like Kevin Hart, right? I like his
I'm a
comedy
fan
and
of
stuff
him,
like
yeah.
that. But this movie's supposed to be directed by the guy that made Chernobyl.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be kind of serious,
Craig
they
Mazin.
said.
Borderlands, the reason Borderlands has the style it has and has so much comic relief in it is because it's a pretty serious story that's going on.
Right.
Like betrayal and murder and stuff.
And Roland is supposed to be a badass, gritty soldier character.
No.
Yeah.
Tell me what part of Kevin Hart you see a gritty character.
Maybe
that's
he's trying
like
to
his whole
transform.
thing.
Maybe he's trying to transform into like a a serious actor.
You think he's doing a Will Smith going from Fresh Prince to like what's
Wild
that
Wild
movie?
West.
Oh yeah,
To what's that
Bad
movie
Boys, probably.
where he's with a kid and
the one where he
Pursuit
cries.
of Happiness.
really sad one,
Yeah.
£7.
Pursuit of Happiness.
something like that.
£9, something like that.
Something like that.
Something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
think he's trying to do that Will Smith transition like that? Could you see him doing it?
I mean,
I think he's pretty talented, but
I
think,
disagree.
yeah.
I think he
don't know.
is at best super typecast as like comedy relief guy.
Yeah.
And
Do you know
it's like
what?
if you cast Jack Black in that same role, you'd be like, okay, I know what they're doing with this.
Yeah.
And Jack Black is also actually a surprisingly good actor.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
you don't
watched-
get that, you know.
I got this this article from a Hollywood Reporter.
Okay.
And it starts off with this like Jumanji star, and I was like, oh, that's a title,
The
right?
Rock, yeah.
Jumanji star Kevin Hart. And also, I think they made a mistake. I don't think it's Roland he's playing. I think they're just being a little bit racist and they see a black guy. It's like, oh, he's playing a black guy. That's what he's doing and whatnot.
Okay.
I think he's playing Claptrap. He would fit Claptrap.
Claptrap, he'd be brilliant as Claptrap, but
Right?
But now they've touted him as this big action star.
It's like, shit, now we need
Is
to
he
go through
really
with
playing
it.
Claptrap? Are you sure?
I know. I was just making a joke
Okay.
and whatnot. Like that's why he would more fit because he's like a
That'd be
comedy
good.
relief.
Plus, I think the reason that won't happen is because people will say, "Oh, you wouldn't give like you're dehumanizing him because of like whatever's current
Some stupid
Yeah.
thing they would say.
right." But Claptrap's actually like one of the only really well known character of
Great
Borderlands,
Great character.
and could easily be like not like the main character, but with the main character the whole time and get the majority of the screen time, but not technically number one on the call sheet, you know?
Yeah.
So that would actually be a good shout. He'd make a good Claptrap for sure. Yeah.
Do you guys have any thoughts on Kevin Hart?
I mean, I'm looking at an article now where the director Eli Roth basically saying that it's a different
Eli
type of
Roth?
role. Yeah, it's saying like it's a different type
that's-
of role. So
That's what he's
I
saying.
think
But can he do it? Does he have
that
ability?
it's a weird choice to start becoming some super serious dramatic actor as well.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just like-
then again, did we want to do a remake of Taken with Kevin Hart? Do you know what I mean? It's going to be hard. End of the day, he is what he is, which is a tiny comedian, right? No matter how well he is, how good he is as an actor.
I was gonna say the it's like when you look. It's as well because the Roland again is supposed to be tall as well. Like they literally went for the polar opposite.
Right.
It's like they were like, who would fit this right? James Welford. There we go. It'll sort it out.
I mean, like, imagine we cast Duke or whatever his name is from the Doom movie. Instead of it's The Rock, it's Kevin Hart. Right? Like, at the end of the day, Kevin Hart, while he is actually, I don't know if you follow him on any of his social media, he's similar to The Rock, where just dude never stops working.
yes.
Always working out, always working on something,
Always
always moving.
moving.
Gotta kind of really respect it.
Yeah.
But not an imposing guy. Someone was like, you can fight Floyd Mayweather or Kevin Hart for charity. I'm going to fight Kevin Hart because I want to raise money for charity and win.
Yes, I don't want to look like an idiot.
I don't want a boxing lesson from Floyd Mayweather, right? I want to fight Kevin Hart and win.
Now, Kevin Hart or Logan Paul. Oh my god, that's a big one right there.
Yeah, the question is, who do I want to punch in the face more?
Yeah, it's true actually.
But I'd probably still go with Kevin Hart because I'd actually be able to talk to him afterwards. Like
afterwards.
I wouldn't mind having to spend that amount of time with the guy.
Yeah, whereas
Right.
Logan Paul is just like, please just go away.
Just please. Like, I'll throw the fight if we can leave now. You know? Yeah.
You win, that's it. Goodbye. Do you mind if I move on to the next topic?
Go for it, man.
I think this might be our last one.
Sure.
There is rumors of a Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic
Oh, yeah.
either remake or revival happening. They're
Right.
not too sure on that.
With Amy Hennig?
No, unfortunately not. But the key thing is, it's not being made by BioWare and it's not being made by EA.
Yeah, it's being made by our good friends over at...
Ubisoft. No, it's not that. It's actually the rumor is it's being made by a company that probably not people would know. It's Asper Media.
Yeah.
They have done some work. They're working on Civilization at the moment.
Yeah, they
That's
do
the ones
Civ.
they're doing right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
And also, they did do the port for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic to iOS devices, which people say is very good. The port is good anyway. So they haven't done too much, but at least they have worked with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic before. And they have, and Sid is regarded by the Sid community anyway that it's good.
It's regarded by, what's that, RTS players
Yes.
as like, unless you're in Korea, it's like one of the best ones out there.
Exactly.
It's got one of the big, in the conversation with like StarCraft is the Civ games. Yeah.
So we might be getting an announcement for this soon. How do anyone feel about that? Does anyone have any attachments to KOTOR?
No, I don't think.
No. See, this is the thing. I have never played. Go on, Joe. Were you gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say not massively, but I still like. I just know the reputation it has, so I'm seeing something outside of the fucking Skywalker saga and Star Wars is always refreshing.
Big agree.
Yeah,
Big
I'd
agree.
give it a go.
I think you mean the Palpatine saga, but yeah.
The Palpatine saga.
Sorry, the Sheev saga. Yeah.
That's right.
Actually, she changed her. Rey changed her name to Skywalker, so it's actually the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, in that one scene where she cucks Ben, she just becomes a Solo by de facto.
Like I'm a Skywalker, Rey Skywalker. That's what
like
I am.
you did this. No,
I
did this.
I've always been interested in KOTOR, but like we've said in this podcast, I don't really gravitate towards older games and whatnot. I feel like it takes away a little bit. And also, I've watched a couple of reviews and people say it's hard to get into the gameplay as a new player because it's old-style gameplay.
Yeah.
It feels a bit clunky and slow and stuff like that. But there is a really good story in there.
Apparently, it's huge as well. Yeah.
And the cutscenes are like that. You know that Warhammer games and whatnot where they have the best graphically CG cutscenes and whatnot, and they're always like 45 minutes long and stuff like that. I've seen all of those on YouTube and it looks phenomenal.
Yeah. The story
Imagine
apparently
a
is
modern.
incredible.
Sorry?
As well. The story is incredible
Apparently.
and there's so much to do. Yeah.
I would play and get lost in a world.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. So I don't know if any of you guys have played any like MMORPGs, because that's kind of what KOTOR is. Or I guess you can just call it an MMORPG. The addiction to those things, if you get hooked, is bad. Just to put it mildly, I stopped playing World of Warcraft many years ago.
Yeah.
Probably in like 2013 or so. And my main character alone had 175 days of gameplay. My main character.
Shit.
And I had multiple guys with like 30 or 40 days on them otherwise, So when I say it's an addiction, like people are like, I game a lot. No, you don't game a lot. WoW guys game a lot, right?
Yeah.
It is a real addiction. So despite, I desperately want to play this. I really, really badly want to play it. I'm probably not gonna because
For your own sake.
dude, I mean, look, if the streaming side of things for us takes off, maybe I'll talk myself into it. But I mean, like, I could put 100 days on 100 days, by the way, not hours, days on a good MMORPG easily.
Damn. That's
Which means
quite an addiction right there.
It's bad. It's a real like, oh, I'm an alcoholic. Hi, my name's John. I'm a drug addict. Hi, my name's Shep. So I'm an MMORPG addict. Well, that's not a real thing. Bruv, let me show you.
I'm living in a hut right now because my wife left me. They took the dog. I've got 6 mortgages and...
But I'm keen for it. Apparently KOTOR, it has a great reputation. Apparently it's incredible. I hope this new one is good. And I hope I don't hear anything about it and I don't have to touch it because it could be very dangerous.
If I get a whiff of it, it could suddenly just be like, that's it. Go on.
Because WoW is nothing. It's just fancy, right?
Yeah.
This is space wizards with laser swords. I'm genuinely concerned.
This could be bad. Do you guys have any fears of getting sucked in and never being able to escape?
It's a bit of an existential one.
Do you have any fears
I'll give it a go. I'll be cautious with it.
I mean, are you guys wired more to play like the new Ubisoft Star Wars thing or this?
I mean, probably
this
like,
definitely.
I mean, quality-wise, I know this will be much better, but like personally, I've just never been a massive fan of like the whole MMORPG thing. I tried to get into WoW back in the day, and it just wasn't really my type of thing.
You're lucky.
But I just, yeah. I don't know.
I'm excited for it, but if it does take over my life, like the only thing that I've come close that can come close to it for me is really far back in the day, Red Alert 2. I used to play that on PC, and I used to get tons of time in that. Probably close to how many hours you got in. Maybe not as close as yours. It was a lot though, but it was a lot. And then Destiny was the next thing that I've got.
For the record, my time on WoW is not that impressive.
Yeah, there's probably people out there.
There are guys with way over 1,000 days.
Because you lost your virginity. Those people might not have.
Yeah. And bearing in mind, that was from like, when did it come out? 06, I think it came out, and I stopped 4 years in or something, 5 years in. And there are guys that played it day one that are still playing. So, you've got to consider that. I
mean, there were still expansions for, what was it, the fucking, the Knights of the Fallen Empire back in like 2015.
What, for KOTOR?
Wait. No, back in 2011 there was like the Old Republic, which was like a reboot type thing.
Star Wars The Old Republic, I've heard of that one. They had to name it all the same thing, didn't they?
Yeah, it's
and then
Xbox branding all over again.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, they're just going to keep remaking the same game every 10 years? Or
I think people would be down.
This is a different company now, different publisher, different developer, so it should be something different,
and
right?
they seem to take their job seriously.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't got to a point where they were like, people know us, we can just phone it in. The civs are always getting better. That port is well regarded because they were like, this is a real job. We need to this is business. We take it seriously.
And if this is their not first try, but one of their big ones where people are paying attention to them, first time making their own game, if it is a revival and not a remake, then they're probably going to put their heart and soul into it and make it their own, right?
Yeah. Plus, it's Star Wars. What are the chances that games devs aren't huge Star Wars nerds? Pretty much zero.
It's like games and nerds cross over.
Yeah.
And that's all just Star Wars in there.
There's that Venn diagram is basically just one circle in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not much.
With Walshie and Joe on the outside. They're not gamers or nerds.
Exactly.
They came to the True Gamer podcast and they're hoping that we'd give them a gamer card, but it's not happening so far.
Talking of
I'd rather not.
Genuine question.
The thing is, I lost my virginity, so I'm
you can't be a gamer then.
Liar, get off the
podcast.
It's tough. I'm curious to know 3 things. Your game of the generation for the last generation of consoles. Yeah. The best game you've played so far, and the game you're most awaiting.
Ooh. Well, it's Avowed. Everyone's looking forward to.
Of course, Avowed is
the only thing that anyone looks forward to. Yeah.
So, like, game of the generation, the both of you.
Red Dead 2.
Joe,
I think
it's Xbox for the last generation, so he didn't play any good games.
But I mean, it is just Red Dead 2, and I feel like
it's not close.
I feel like a broken record talking about it. But it's so much higher. It's so much higher than anything else that I just can't. I can't.
It's a good game.
It's fantastic.
It's
Walshie, agreed, or you're going to change your opinion for Red Dead?
Jack.
Oh no! I agree with Joe. It is one of the best games. It's the best game of the 2010s easily. One of the best games ever.
I mean, Fallout 76 comes close, but
of course,
it's a near miss.
Yeah. They're just one's Cowboys, one's future. Like, it's what do you prefer, right?
Exactly.
So, the next question is kind of like almost a 2-parter. Best game you've played so far in the generation, and game you're most awaiting of the new gen. So far, what's the best you've played on the new gen?
Are we counting cross-gen games, or is it just purely next?
I think it counts.
Yeah, anything.
We know the right ones, right? Like, it's not going to be you picked up Ghost of Tsushima and you put it on the PS5. That's a PS4 game.
Yeah, it's a PS4 game.
But Miles Morales is a PS5 game, right? PS4 as well.
Crash Bandicoot 4.
Here we go. Okay.
That's not going to change. It's Crash Bandicoot 4. It's a fucking brilliant game. Actually, no, Astro's Playroom. Sorry.
Ooh.
Yeah. Just to be clear, you're being serious, right?
What, with Crash 4? Have you played Crash 4?
No.
It's fucking brilliant. Play it. It is the best game of this generation, and it will stay that way until GTA 6.
I was gonna say it started 3 months ago.
It's,
Sounds bad.
It's like best game so far, and then what are you most awaiting? Joe, what about you? Best game you've played so far?
Honestly, because I wasn't a big fan of Miles Morales, I might have to actually say Astro's Playroom. I platted it in 2 days. It was the most fun I've had playing a game in so fucking long.
It's just honest fun, isn't it?
It's quite good.
It's just honest, chill.
So, yeah, exactly.
What about Cold War though?
I mean, Cold War's up there, but I feel like I'm gonna get bullied if I say Call of Duty is my favorite game.
I want you to say it. I want the number one Assassin's Creed podcast host to say he loves Call of Duty.
Yeah, because that
I do.
is a good franchise.
Yeah,
I'll be bad.
What about like most awaited game for the next gen?
God of War 2. That's definitely going to come out this year, and it's not going to be the
God of War 2, 5, God knows what.
Yeah, whoever it's called.
Yeah, true.
But what about Avowed? We've seen 16 seconds of an arrow flying through the air.
Yeah, ones that we actually know are coming out.
Whichever.
GTA 6.
That's never coming out.
Be mad.
It's just going to be GTA 5.
That's coming out next gen.
2024.
You're a mug if you think there's going to be anything more than GTA Online from here on out.
Yeah.
No, they're working on it. Listen.
They're not.
2024.
They're working on that.
Bully, they're cancelling that.
There's no way, because like...
Mark your calendars, 2024.
2024.
Interesting, because it's not like they
the
had potentially the best game of the last generation's multiplayer to work on. What was that? Red Dead? Oh no, it's just dead in the womb, just dead on arrival.
It's
That's
just
it.
dead, not Red Dead. Just dead.
So you're saying GTA 6? Okay, well, I mean, you're phoning in your answer, but okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Ones that we know of, probably. I mean, oh my days. Well, I've actually, it's actually fucking.
You could do most awaited game for like within this next year or so, because we're at the very beginning of the generation.
I mean, yeah, probably still Hogwarts Legacy right now.
Okay.
Just because I want to see that franchise revived.
Yeah.
I want it to burn in flames. So it's great like that. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
I was going to say...
How about you guys?
The only... God of War is obviously the best one, right? That's the one that we're all looking forward to.
Yeah.
But I am actually looking forward to Horizon Forbidden West. But I'm looking forward to it, hoping that they get a lot better. Like, it started off and it was in a place and the aesthetic was beautiful, the world was beautiful. But I want them to go even further with it, and
I feel like I've tainted your opinion on Horizon.
No, look. So for you guys that don't know, Joe and Walshie, I like Horizon Zero Dawn. Sheps doesn't like it because Aloy he feels is a like phoned-in character, very like, and also she doesn't seem to like be a. You say it because you want to. It's your opinion, obviously.
I mean, have you guys both played Horizon?
Oh yeah.
Not yet, but.
Okay.
Not yet. He hasn't. He's only just got a PlayStation. He's only just joined the true games.
Yeah, fair enough. My opinion is that Aloy has basically no character to her whatsoever. She's our bridge into the world. She never shows any wonder, no growth, no struggle. She's a Mary Sue, basically.
Spicy.
Yeah, and I know that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. I love the aesthetic of the world. I love the robo-dinosaurs and all that stuff, but there's no... The story's meh. It's good enough, absolutely good enough, but our bridge into the world shows nothing. She's deadpan the whole way. It's pretty awful. She
does really go into places and it's just like... She just accepts what she sees in front of her.
She's perfectly poised to have... You know how Rey has that moment where, like, in episode 7, where she's wearing the helmet, pretending to be a pilot, and then in the next one where she's, I didn't know there's so much green in the whole galaxy, right?
Yeah.
She just has those moments of wonder, and Aloy is so poised to have that, as well as to adapt very quickly to her situation. She never grows, she never shows anything, she never seems to struggle. It really bugs me, and I worry that. Plus, there's this really, really sexist underlying tone to the game that. Once you spot it, you can't like unsee it. And I've mentioned it a few times. I worry that it really is like tainting your feel for the game.
My only thing is just that character thing that you mentioned, which after you saying it, I was like, do you know what I've had that feeling, but I've looked past it because I liked the world that I was in.
It's a great
and
world.
I did love the combat and the different types of bows and weapons you had. I felt like it was so fluid and great. And that's what I was focusing on. But then I was like, do you know what? She's not amazed by anything, which is so weird and so strange. Really.
Anyway, so you're really liking Horizon?
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? forgetting God of War. We know God of War is like your obvious answer.
I have to say, I'm also really looking forward to Star Wars Lego. The Skywalker saga.
Yes.
It's going to be fucking great. It's going to be so good.
When's that due May? Yeah.
It's indefinitely it's this year. It's meant to be.
I've got it pre-ordered on Amazon, and every now and again I get a notification. It says Lego Star Wars. I'm like, yeah. Oh, it says July delayed. Oh, it says July at the moment, but God knows when the hell that is coming out.
That's actually my most awaited game.
It's gonna be great.
I mean, like
me too. Actually,
I'm looking forward to Ratchet and Clank.
Oh yeah,
because in my opinion, it's the first real PS5 only game. Like Miles Morales also goes. Something about Ratchet and Clank. They're PlayStation exclusives, have been forever. For me, it's going to be the first thing that really tests what the PS5 can do, personally, and it's just good, wholesome fun.
Yeah,
there's no risk to it. There's no stress to it. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think Lego Star Wars, because I think it's going to do a much better job of the movies of tying this whole franchise together, and I'm really looking forward to getting to experience Star Wars. All of Star Wars' best bits with Lego comedy and none of the worst bits. And anything that they bring in will just be a very comedic addressing of all the crap that was in the movies.
There's going to be the moment they're going to make a joke about the Rian Johnson decision to like throw the lightsaber away and stuff like that. And they're going to make a joke of it. And I'm so waiting for it. I need to see this. I need to see it. Did you hear as well, speaking of Lego Star Wars, apparently the game will feature 300 playable characters.
Sick.
Yeah, I know.
I'm playing the whole thing as Watto.
The whole thing as well. Yeah, just happen to have a chance, Gilbert.
Everything. I'm going to have Watto in my team the whole time. Watto and Jar Jar.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yes. It's crazy. I didn't know there was that many characters. Gonk Droid, there you go.
Gonk Droid, yeah.
Gonk Droid all the way, lads.
I'm going to go as boss. Oh, God, what the boss? What's his name? The guy who runs the Gungans. Frick.
The guy who runs the
big
Gungans.
Fat
I don't know his name.
Boss Nass.
Yes, it.
Yeah.
Big on with him.
Yeah, Boss Nass and Watto is going to be my number one pairing. And I expect to see the Rule 34 out of that, boys.
Wait. Listen, it can't be any worse than the Java stuff we got. Okay. Guys, we have exhausted all the gaming topics for this week, and we've done it in a mere 2 hours and 30 minutes. Just
with time to spare for Anime Club. That's right, boys. We're going to watch all of Naruto starting now live on stream.
We don't have enough time in the year for that. No. But we do have some questions from our boys, and you guys can write in as well in our Discord server. Click that link in the description. It's a great place to be. There's a ton of shit in here, and frick you guys because I said please don't make them all Assassin's Creed, and then obviously they made it all Assassin's Creed.
Lay it on us.
What is your favourite game of the year, and why is it Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
And why is it Assassin's Creed Valhalla? I'm going to blitz through these, and I want you guys to give me these snappy responses. It'll be quick fire topics right here, okay?
Right.
Summer Dylan writes in and he says, God, you've been training for this all your life. Here we go. Summer Dylan goes, so what's your favourite planet from Assassin's Creed?
Earth. I guess.
Quick!
It's got to be Jupiter.
Yeah, Earth.
There you
That's
go. Jupiter for ships.
Yeah. Or Mars. Jupiter or Mars, for sure.
Those are the top tier ones.
Yeah, these guys don't know about the planets run everything.
Yeah, they don't know about the planets in AC2 and what we learned. I taught them all about that. Gamer chatter, hashtag Jojo. I'm not going to read the last part of that. That's bad. What's your favourite tree in Assassin's Creed? Well, it's the
Is
tree
this
of
going to be
Eden, right?
all the questions?
Yeah,
Is he fucking serious?
I'm
They
telling
thought
you,
they
they're
were
all
being
like this.
funny, but they had access to some of the best content creators on YouTube and decided to make it a joke about their own crappy franchise. So frick them.
Exactly. Diogo writes in, and he writes in with two questions, but I'm going to pick one of them. He goes, Joe and Walshie, explain the planets to Eddie and Sheps for me.
Okay, so there's 9
shit,
planets in our solar system.
Right.
I'm glad you said 9. That's correct.
And that's about it.
That's about it. Well, that's and they created all life. Okay, we understand that. There we go.
They're the driving force for the game in Assassin's Creed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did someone get out? Oh,
Oh, it's Walshie. Well, no, it's Walshie. No one
it's
cares.
only Walshie. Don't worry about it. Is he back? He's back, isn't he?
No.
Oh shit, he's gone.
Oh god.
Well,
Walshie, he's
I think
protested.
I think we pushed him over the edge.
We pushed him over there. There's too much Assassin's Creed talk.
Walshie, there, buddy?
Oh yeah, sorry. This is
There we
classic
go.
conversations, tech issues.
Wow,
these boys
blaming
are like.
us because the eagle's call can't soar on its own.
Exactly.
It's a bird pun.
We are up here at the
Leave the
synchronization point, trying to get synchronized, and then the eagle can't manage its own. Am I saying enough Assassin's Creed stuff?
I don't know. I started doing bird stuff because I don't know any Assassin's Creed. There you go. I'll do a Macbeth. Here's some Shakespeare. Shut up, you egg.
Okay, I don't know what that
That's
is.
from Macbeth. That's a real line.
That's a
you
weird
go.
one. The next question is from Josh, and he goes, so what is your favorite AC setting? And he goes, my actual topic, though, is who do you want to make the next Star Wars game? So go on, we can answer those ones.
Rocksteady would be kind of cool. I think they'd make a nice combat system.
Good one.
Okay,
good one.
yeah.
Facts. Yeah, no, that's the one.
I made the thing. Sorry, go on, Joe.
No, you got it.
I was going to say last podcast I was saying that maybe the unannounced project from Sony Santa Monica is a Star Wars project.
Yeah.
Because they've done great with another Disney product, Spider-Man, not Sony Santa Monica, but Sony in general.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
fantastic. That'd be great. Right
It's
there.
a pity because my answer, and I kind of led the podcast with it, was Amy Hennig.
Yeah, wherever she fucking ends up. That's what we want.
She had a Star Wars project that got mothballed. Like now's the time.
Yeah.
Now's the time because, and I also was under the impression it was a KOTOR reboot.
I think it was. I don't know what it
Or
was.
something
actually.
similar to it. Was supposed to be an open world, Amy Hennig, Star Wars, Amy Hennig, RPG, Amy Hennig.
Yeah.
Like all these are all the things. That's who I want to make this thing.
Do you know what would be cool? You know, like how Kojima came back from after Konami screwed him and stuff like that.
Made his own thing.
And made his own thing, and the way they presented it, like Sony presented it on the E3 stage,
Yeah.
and he just walked out into the thing, and he's like, "I'm back," in his like Japanese accent, and I was
I'm
like,
back.
"It was like it's great, yes." They need to do that with Amy Hennig. She just needs to turn up on a stage and go, "I'm back." that's it.
I think not enough people know Amy Hennig. Though.
They don't know her
everybody
by
knows
face.
Kojima, yeah.
They know that some people might know the name, but I couldn't pick Amy Hennig out of a lineup.
I will say as well, like I think a lot of people don't realize how much more we are than just regular gaming consumers. Like we actually do know a surprising amount of like the boring stuff about games, not actually developing games, but like the business stuff and the teams that make it. And like, for example, what is that guy's name? Jason State. It's not
Schreier.
Jason Statham.
Fryer.
Jason
Statham.
Statham.
Joseph Statham.
Joseph Statham, that was it. We did this last time. Yeah, Joseph.
Every
Jason
single
Statham.
time. Like we do actually know those names, and we put a lot of emphasis. Like for example, and say, fucking George R.R. Martin is attached to Elden Ring. That doesn't mean anything. But if Joseph Statham is attached to a Halo project, that actually means something, and he has a track record, and we know that stuff. So I think there's probably a good number of people that have no idea who Amy Hennig is.
Yeah, maybe.
So-
Maybe.
Yeah.
The next question, Juice's spicy sauce goes K. A more serious question, but still Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
So you just
Yeah, oxymoron right there.
what do you think Ubisoft will do with the franchise after Valhalla? Will they stick with RPGs, or do you think they will shift back to the older format? And he goes, also, have you got any thoughts on Hitman, if any of you have played it? What do you guys think?
Right. Okay, so the RPG format, the reason they picked that when they were making Origins was because they saw the success of like The Witcher, fucking Dark Souls games, Shadow of Mordor, all those games when they were making that game, right? And now they're at a point where the next gen game, not like the next game because that might be cross gen, but the full on next gen game is definitely in development now. And we're at a point where so many people are fatigued with the RPG formula. People who didn't like it to start like it even less now. People in and outside of Assassin's Creed, and the games that have been big whilst they're making this new game, this new engine, are like Red Dead 2, God of War, The Last of Us 2. And if they look at games like that, they know there's a market there, but at the same time the RPG games have sold incredibly well. So like I don't know if they'd ever fully leave that formula, at least yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they went for something that's like more traditionally AC next. So there you go.
Personally, I
think
think
they
it's going to
can?
be a turn-based role-playing game set in 1700s Moscow.
Perfect.
Done.
That's just me.
Right.
That's
Sold.
it. That's what we need.
Make the
My,
game.
my question to you is, the thing about an RPG is it is entirely dependent on the story, character development, and writing. do we honestly think that Ubisoft is capable of making just a story and like the character and the dialogue and that stuff alone that carries it? I think maybe at one point they were capable of that, but are they anymore?
I don't think so.
I think they have the writers to do it. Well, just Darby McDevitt.
They have one.
Well,
Yeah, they have one writer to do it.
The thing is, Darby McDevitt wrote in this new game, and granted, I hear the writing is good in parts and whatnot, but there are some parts that, like, I hear James and Tyler talking about on their podcast, which I don't even fucking know the name of it.
I can't even remember. It's so forgettable. The branding's off.
It's really terrible.
I'm just so glad we're not connected to them.
I didn't even know they had one.
Apparently they do.
Apparently they do, and apparently they've got some new bloody stupid network thing. I really don't care.
It's really annoying because they've decided to announce it right around our big announcement.
When's this coming out?
February the 1st.
First, we've got an announcement on February the 2nd, and these guys are like stealing our limelight, basically.
Pretty much.
Quite rude.
They let us build the attention for the date, and then stole our thunder.
Exactly.
Basically.
We were bringing all the eyes.
Piggybacking off conversations.
Pretty much. That's
like
it.
always. Like always.
Like usual. Yeah.
Ironic.
That's it. There you go. What was I saying at the beginning of this?
We were talking about writing for.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even they say that sometimes he goes off on one that's just absolutely pointless.
Yeah.
So
I think
I don't know
that's
what
more
to
a result of the way the Valhalla as a game set up, because it was made to be so massive, and they wrote it like there's so many writers on Valhalla that it is very disconnected. Whereas I think if he was put in the position of writing a game that is just a linear, 20-hour story focused game, he could do something incredible. But
hopefully,
I'd like to see. You know how Pokemon, they released the Pikachu Let's Go as the standalone, as like a standalone. It wasn't even a standalone. It was meant to be a placeholder game between the new Pokemon games coming out.
Yeah,
but they released it. It was incredible.
Yeah,
everybody loved it.
It was great. Everyone loved it.
I'd like to see Assassin's Creed go, okay, we can actually build a small story-focused RPG as basically a placeholder. Like, don't forget about us. We're building this incredible open world bullshit, blah, 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 and release that as a tester and say, look, if it flops, it doesn't matter, because it was just to give the consumers something to buy, something to do, and not forget about us while we build this big game that takes so much. And if it flies off the shelves, we can say, yeah, okay, people love this.
The problem is you're talking from a point of passion.
Ubisoft, I'm really passionate about.
Don't feel like
AC.
Exactly about passion about AC.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't have the care put into it.
Yeah, Ubisoft right now, they just everything seems to be, let's make a game, but make sure you can somehow implement all these microtransactions, all this filler and all this extra stuff into it. So it seems like it's a big thing that we've given.
What about James's idea for Xiaojun? Make it a standalone 8-hour RPG.
Yeah.
Just call it
just not an RPG. We've had enough. I want an Assassin's Creed game. It's been 8 years since the last good one, and that makes me I was in fucking primary school the last time there was a good AC game. That makes me really sad. Yeah.
Let's burn through a couple more of these questions. Sorry, did any of you guys play through any? Yeah, that's actually really depressing right now. Did any of you guys play any of the Hitman games? The new Hitman games, sorry?
No.
I've played 1 and 2, and they're fucking incredible.
I've seen it in the Discord.
What was that, Joe?
I said not had a chance to get to 3, but the first 2 are fucking fantastic. Yeah, they're freaking fantastic.
Yeah, they're something anyway.
They are something.
The Discord has been lit up with. We have a show and tell room on the Discord where people can just put stuff they're proud of, right? So some guys are really into art, music, drawing, that kind of thing, and a ton of dudes.
All of a sudden, now the Nest Discord server has a show and tell room. They've just that's so strange.
But one of the things that's really popular with our guys is the photo mode stuff, and there have been a ton of Hitman 3 photo mode things posted. Whoever's playing it seems to really be enjoying it.
I've heard it's actually very good.
Yeah,
very,
that's what
very
I've
good.
heard.
And it's the first time IO Interactive are publishing their own game. Like, they took the rights from Square, and now they're just doing their own thing, which is great for them. And they're also going to be working on the next James Bond game, so bodes well for them.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, even though it is something I was really looking forward to, but with all the shit that's been going on, I haven't been able to play any games, really. I just played a few games. I played Assassin's Creed Brotherhood last night for the first time.
Yes, you did. You actually quite enjoyed it, didn't you?
I did.
Brilliant,
I don't want to tell these guys, though. Don't say that. They can't find out. The next question is from Lil D. Again, we're going to try and breeze through these ones. He goes, who do you think is going to be the next AC antagonist? I think it's going to be Ashraf Email trying to collect the Dick of Eden. God. I'm going to read it because he's put a lot of effort into these jokes. Okay. An object that attracts all the women to you. I don't need to explain to you true AC YouTubers. And the two protagonists will be Enzo Aldente and Chow Mein.
Perfect.
Using the scissors of Eden to cut Ashraf's... Oh, my God.
I'm fucking right. This is mental.
This is the quality of memery that we've got in our Discord server.
It's something.
I love it. I love every moment of
it.
The next question from Daniel. He says, who'd you rather smash?
Okay.
Cassandra or Enzo d'Italia? FYI, Cassandra's eyes are closed. She can be imagining your Alexios while Enzo is... All right, yeah, so all of that right there. Thank you, Daniel, for that one. Jack Resin, rank Assassin's Creed games by quality of the game's name.
Rogue.
Rogue.
Rouge.
Done.
Black Flag, come on, that's the sickest name.
It's quite a name.
That's a sick name. I don't know how good the game is, but it's a sick name.
It's all right. Well, some people here might say that it's the best AC out there.
I would be fucking mistaken if I was to say that.
Objectively
I hear
wrong.
you guys talking about Black Flag all the time. Black Flag is the last good AC. No,
It is.
See, can't say that.
It does look like it was the last good AC, I gotta be honest.
Was fun.
But
It was fun. I remember that.
I don't know.
The next question from the Nunfucker Ben. He says, hello, Odyssey gamers.
God.
Would you rather smash Patrice Desalet, however it's been, or the Lioness Charmer God Ashraf Ismail? Have a spicy day. Joe, which one would you smash?
Definitely Ashraf Ismail.
Ashraf.
I mean, if he told me that I charmed him, like that's a compliment you can't.
So,
Right.
done.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it? Have you found where I am?
No, I haven't. I was not
Diogo's comment.
Okay, let me-
Under the Nunfucker.
Where are we in the podcast?
Yeah, podcast.
Got it.
There's a lot of comments.
There are a lot of comments. Where's Diogo, bro? Here we go. Okay. If I can't ask about AC...
hold on. You got a little bit too far. You need to go further up. There's multiple
That's
comments.
him under the Nunfucker.
Oh, wait. Did they do it again? Okay, you need to go even further up.
Oh, God.
The
how
one
is
Starts off,
above
explain
hood.
every AC.
Okay.
Yeah, above hood. Oh, shit. You're in our Discord server.
Explain every
Yeah,
AC
I'm
game
reading along.
without using any of the AC keywords, i.e. Assassin, Templars, Hidden Ones, Order of Ancients, ISU, etc., Apples,
AC.
Pieces of Eden, etc., etc.
ISU, yeah, that's how it's officially said, actually. So you have to explain every AC game without using the keywords. A dude runs up a wall, and then he ejects off of that wall and then dies.
Yeah.
And
That is
then
the game mechanic.
That is how crap the parkour
Well,
is.
yeah, when you're playing, I've seen your fucking streams, Eddie.
How dare you? That's not my fault. That's the game and its terrible parkour system.
Oh, yeah. Right.
There's an actual question here from Felipe Hood, a hooded dude, who asks, would you hire Ashraf Ismail back to make another AC if he promised to keep it in his pants?
Right. Oh, you skipped. So you like Assassin's Creed? Name every tailing mission. I'm confident I can do the first few.
Yeah, really? Could you?
Yeah, watch it. Okay, every tailing mission.
There
I
we
can
go.
do 5 or 6. Right. You've got Behind Closed Doors, where you tail Jacopo. Birds of a Feather, when you follow the Templar meeting through Venice.
I played that one, yeah.
It's a good one. All Things Come to He Who Waits, where you follow the guard with the apple. Going into Brotherhood, you've got New Man in Town, when you find out about Ilkar Neferche. Then you've got
Everybody
Human
knows Ilkar
Cargo.
Neferche.
You follow Silvestro Sabatini, and you kill him. And then In and Out, where you tail and assassinate the banker. And then, Joe, what's the one with fucking Micheletto? Where you tail
Oh my god, can't
You
remember
forgot the
it.
one
So
with
you
the
failed,
Geo
you failed the
Troche as
challenge,
well.
it's
Well,
fine.
there's the
Let's move on
first
to the
few.
next question. The next question
Jesus
was...
Christ, yeah, the fucking, I want to kill myself.
I hate these boys so much because every single one of them knows AC. Like, what are the top 7 shipping vessels in the AC franchise? Probably your next video, Walshie.
Oh, it's on the list already, mate. Beat you to it.
What's your favourite AC memory in Revelations? I don't know what any of that means. but
Okay,
it seems to be the
this is a
first
good
real
one.
question.
I think they mean the memories, because the guy's living memories. I think that's what they
Yeah,
mean.
that's what the missions are called.
Or it could be, what's your favourite memory of it? Your own memory, or it could be, you never know.
What's your favourite?
Anyway.
AC memory.
Right.
In Revelations. I think it's about in the game,
Yeah, the game's called Revelations, I think. We're such amateurs.
Well, I feel like the popular answer would be Sequence 9, Memory 3, The Message.
Yep.
That's the one. That's the one where Ezio goes
What's
into
your
Mafia.
favourite name in the yellow pages? Well, on page 74.
No, it's a really good memory. It's the best one in the series, but favourite, I'd go Sequence 1, Memory 4, A Hard Ride. It's the one where you're on the back of Leandros' fucking carriage, and there's that soundtrack bit. It's called A Hard Ride, and it's like...
Why do you know this?
It's this... I wish I didn't. It's the sickest memory in the fucking game. Every time it gets me hyped to play it. You're on the back of this carriage, right? And Leandros... Yeah, it's hard to explain unless you haven't played it, but it gives you this feeling of like adventure, and like the soundtrack. It's so emotional when you think, "Fuck, I love this character, I love this series." You know what I mean? It's a very nostalgic memory for me. Joe, what about you?
Definitely, it's a sequel. Definitely Setting Sail. It's just It's just a big old fire pit in the ocean that you have to jump through.
They're talking a fucking another language. I don't know what they're talking
totally different
about,
language. I don't know. Okay, so look, next question, because obviously no one wants to spend that much time on Assassin's Creed. Super Whale Ben basically wants to know. He's asking about the greatest video game franchise of all time. What is your favorite Kingdom Hearts game? Followed by what is your favorite Kingdom Hearts game? Followed by what is your favorite Kingdom Hearts character? And finally, why is so the greatest video game character? Now, my question to you is, why does Kairi want to steal Princess Peach's bit? This bitch gets kidnapped all the freaking time, and why is no one calling her out on it?
Hey, this is my thing. Get the frick to your own thing, alright?
So, I mean, I feel like, go on, you can say something about Kingdom Hearts or Assassin's Creed. Go for it.
Okay.
Good, well done.
Kingdom Hearts is disgusting.
We don't want to hear any more of that. Thank you very much.
Kingdom Hearts is disgusting. That's all I'll say.
And I'm going to be playing it, I hope, maybe soon in the drunk stream.
Why did you do that?
The reason why I did it as a drunk stream is because I need to be drunk in order to play the damn thing. That's
just
how bad
play
it is.
KH1. Don't worry about what anybody else says.
But what about Rebirth of the Souls and then the Melody of Madness and then
358/2 and all that bullshit.
What's she coming to go? It's Melody by Sleep.
Melody of Memories, Rumours, Birth by Sleep.
There we go. That one.
That's what you mean to say.
I love the ending of that comment, by the way. It goes, love your Sheps. Joe and Jack, you're pretty awesome. Eddie, you're okay, I guess. Joe, I loved your ass. That's what he's...
Oh, my God.
Thank you very much. Everyone universally did. No one had any issue.
I did not. That have ruined my fucking day, waking up and seeing that on my timeline.
Thing was, Walshie was at home having his beans on toast, and he saw Joe's ass. He spat it all out over his computer screen. That's what he said right there.
With a Cockney accent. Yeah.
With a Cockney accent, because you are Cockney, not Scottish.
I love a little bit further down. It's just you saying, please, please, please write something other than Assassin's Creed.
I did, and everyone, and then look at what happens afterwards. We're like, well, I'll send in a second question.
Corwin, just a more.
God
damn it.
We didn't have enough time. We're running really low. We have to finish. We have to finish in 5 minutes. Otherwise, the file won't be. Cool. The file's too big to put on podcast services.
Super Dan's asking about GameStop Stop. We can talk about that on the Combros podcast, because I feel like it's actually a big topic and we don't have time.
It's a big topic, but people squeezed a lot of that. That was quite funny. Opinions on Resident Evil. We said about that. Every AC. See another
rank
AC
every
game.
AC game by protagonist's ass.
God.
Joe's an expert in this field.
Yeah, probably Origins first. That's it.
Of course. I mean, actually, there's a considerable question afterwards, which is also, Joe, do you have a commercial driver's license for that dump truck of an ass?
I drive it illegally. I live life on the edge.
Perfect.
Ooh,
I have no idea what this is about, but I want to know the meme now. So.
The arse thing?
Yeah.
Oh, he took a picture of his arse.
Oh, have you not seen?
Oh no! Hold on, let me go.
Yeah, go search for his Twitter profile. It's pinned as the first comment.
I'll happily send you. I have plenty of them. Don't worry.
Yeah, could you just DM it? Could you just DM us your ass?
Yeah, I'll just DM it.
I feel like this should be coming to our group WhatsApp chat.
Yeah, our private group WhatsApp, that should be coming to us.
I checked his pinned tweet and it isn't his.
Oh, did you unpin it, John?
I'll make. I did. I never pinned it. But
yeah, sure.
Mother fricker.
No. The thing is,
I'll just scroll through your feed
It's
while
all
we
an
talk, don't
advertisement
worry.
for the OnlyFans I'm making.
Right.
I'm gonna match it up with Eddie's and just steal all his content. I'm gonna steal all his.
That's what it is.
I don't endorse this.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have any more time for everyone else's one. There's a lot of really cool, all because of the people who put silly questions in, which I absolutely loved actually in the end of it.
Yeah.
All of you guys, thank you so much for writing in. And we had a decent conversation with Joe and Walshie right here. Sean, he just sent a screenshot of disliking the As Something podcast, which I really like. This great stuff. It's good stuff. We promote you to True Gamer.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There it is. Yeah, you seen it? You seen his ass? There you go.
There you go.
Can you see the hairs? Can you see the hairs?
I'm not looking into
You
that
zoom
much
in real
detail.
close.
The weird thing is just below it is a video of Tyler looking lovingly towards the camera. And right above it is just this dump truck.
Oh boy. Thank you all for writing in to the True Gamer podcast.
Yeah.
That is going to be the end of it. Thank you to our special, not special, kind of like, these guys are funny, but they're more like this fish smells funny, not like ha funny.
Yeah.
Those kind
Like
of
a
guys.
funny cuckoo, not funny haha.
Exactly. Our guests here, Joe, the Founded Scarab, and Walshie, the number 1, number 2 Assassin's Creed YouTuber.
They do genuinely
one.
make the
Fair
best
enough.
content on the internet other than ours. And
Other
I can't
than
think
ours.
of anyone that even comes close. Certainly not
I
anyone.
don't know
we
anyone that makes content that isn't us.
To be honest, there's like a bubble, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just like
us four and that's
our
it.
content.
We're kind of like the 4 props of the content world. We
Yeah.
keep it all up.
Yeah, like
Support
all
beams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
support beams of the
Yeah.
content.
The foundations. The 4 foundations we should call
The
ourselves.
4
We should make a channel around that.
Yeah. We can make like a network.
Yeah,
We could make
yeah.
a network. Yes, let's grab that Twitter handle quickly
Let's do
before
that.
somebody takes it.
You know, as soon as this goes live, someone's taking that app, and there's going to be another out of context frickin' Twitter of all of us.
We should make it so we're the only people we follow, and we just tweet out nonsense about us and shit like that.
Right.
We should make it, and then when the podcast comes out, people are like, "Is that? Did they really? They freaking did. They actually
They
did
said
make
the
the
thing.
4 foundations."
All right, we're getting close. We have to go.
Yes, there's literally like
Yeah.
we got less than a minute.
It's a pity because we really love having you guys on, and
Dude, it's
so we have topics that we have
It's
to
been
cover.
a pleasure.
Yeah, it's
Thank
been a great time. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks for
for
joining
coming.
us, man. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for another episode of True Game Podcast. Thank you, bro, for
Yeah,
your
man.
stuff right there. Oh, grab it, hit the
Oh,
mic, hit
God.
the mic. Oh, that's terrible. And we'll catch you guys all in the next one, all right?
Good night, boys. Bye.
Bye.